Good evening, everybody, and welcome to ProBots. We are on week 3. It is time to eliminate some bots. We have 8 bots going at it in the lower bracket, round 1 of the lower bracket today. And 4 bots will sadly be eliminated. And we're going to find out who those bots are very soon. But first, let's get Endersword in here, joining me, as always, to watch these bots duke it out and compete for top dog. How you doing? There he is. Looking good. He's got his gamer setup going. He's got his sweet glasses. You're ready to go.
I'm in gamer mode. Every time I put these on, I feel like I'm in, 2010 again. I feel like Twitch TV is still Justin TV,
fresh and new.
Yeah, I'm blocking blue light like a motherfucker.
There were some cool shows in the when Justin TV and Twitch was just coming out. There were some cool streams for StarCraft. Well, this is a cool stream for StarCraft now, though.
This is definitely a cool stream for StarCraft. I mean, they have admitted that they switched to Twitch because of StarCraft. Like, StarCraft was esports at the time. It was the entire thing. And
we're keeping the dream alive, keeping the StarCraft dream alive.
I feel like we loop back to Justin TV. Like,
what do you mean? Oh, we're going backwards?
Gaming thing, but now the most popular thing is the just chatting, which is what Justin TV was.
Oh, I haven't checked that out yet, really. Yeah, the just chatting category, right?
Yeah, the whole category. Yeah,
gotcha.
That's great.
Well, anyway, we're here to chat about ProBots. We've got 8 bots going up against each other. If we could pull that bracket up, but right before we do that, actually, I do want to make sure you all check out all the stuff in the descriptions below. We've got a lot of cool links available for you, and we've got some really cool content that we're making behind the scenes. We'll be doing our post-bot show tomorrow. We've got 2. Who's joining us, Endersword? Do you remember?
I believe we have. You said it now.
Gency is one of them.
Gency and
who's the other?
Ketrock, I believe.
Ketrock, there you go. Yes. Gency and Ketrock will be joining us, and it's going to be a good time. So definitely, if you like extra ProBots, check out our Crown Club membership. You get behind-the-scenes content. You can come actually watch the show live. You get a cool background, cool artwork. We've got that awesome scene. I'm sure we'll pass that out as like a phone background later in the season. So definitely check all that out.
That it's filmed in front of a live studio audience, then?
Yeah, technically we are. Technically, yeah.
All right. We even call like the Discord room studio.
Yeah.
So it's very technically true.
That is extremely true.
I like it.
Well, check it out. Yeah, definitely goes a long way to support ProBots and the future things that we do here. Check out our forum as well. That's the best place to stay up to date with what's going on here. We are working our way through season 1 of 2021, and we're on our 3rd week of 7. And then, of course, our finals will be after that with our humans versus bots show match. It's all a lot of fun. Again, you can get all this in the Discord, in the forum, all the info, and you can come ask questions and have conversations. It's a great place to hang out.
Very true.
It's true. Another good place, too, the AI Arena Discord is a great place to hang out. There's a lot of really good bot authors there that can help you out if you are a new bot author and want to get involved with ProBots, or they've got their ladder going on. What is it, AIarena.net?
AI Arena.
You think I'd remember it? Yeah, I was right. Okay. I do remember.
The confusing part is they merged the names, but I know, yeah, the same. So yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, that's all good stuff. I do believe I got all that. We are 1 Crown Club member away from 25. In case anybody wanted, in case anyone likes nice round multiples of 5, and you wanted to also support ProBots.
Let's say that you unlock a new song.
All right.
Yeah. That's it. You unlock the new song if you get.
And you get a little achievement or something.
In general, just in general, someone in the world will write a new song.
Well, and they get their name scrolling along the bottom as well.
That's true. It's a lot of good names down there.
Some of the best.
Some of them like capitalized, some of them not capitalized at all. Stylistic. I like that.
All over the place.
It's good. I was trying to say that I forget if it's not T.S. Eliot. Someone corrected me with the right one. There's somebody, E.E. Cummings. E.E. Cummings does not capitalize anything.
Oh, really?
Poetry.
Oh, in his poems, or
yeah, and even in his name, the E.E. Cummings I think is all lowercase. It's very very pretentious. I'm sure he's dead. I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds like an old author. He's long gone. Too old for ProBots. He probably died long before the computer. Anyway, yeah. Well, I asked for the bracket a long time ago.
Yeah,
Hopefully it'll come up right now.
But here we go.
Let's do it. Let's talk about our games.
Bracket so far here.
So yeah, this is not what we're seeing tonight.
No.
This will be next week.
But look at, I know how much this many ace matches makes Andy happy.
Oh, so happy.
Four ace matches up in that upper bracket. But this is what we're looking at tonight down here in the lower bracket. And I feel like every time we start to talk about a bracket, someone takes it away. It's kind of like Lucy with the football for Charlie Brown. But I'm going to trust this time that the bracket will stay up. But it's going to be Sproutch versus Blinkerbot. Sproutch loves saying his own name. Blinkerbot never actually does the thing his name would indicate.
Well, he does Dark Templars, but he hasn't gotten to blink with that. And the Adepts do quote unquote blink.
Yeah.
So kind
of
true.
So what do you think? So Sproutch has kind of been it's gotten improvements. It can do a lot of fairly dynamic stuff.
He's the survivor, man.
Yeah, it is a survivor bot. We saw last week the one bot where it just kind of starved out BenBot BC, but ultimately
kept killing bases towards the end. Like he was dead pretty much, but he was fighting and he kept holding back BenBot really well. So
yeah, does pretty well. I feel like Sproutch in both seasons that we've seen it so far has kind of gotten a little bit of a raw deal in terms of who it faced. That it faced kind of either gimmicky or very specific things that it couldn't quite deal with, but hasn't. Yeah, it would be interesting to see in this match because I think Sproutch plays a very macro style, but doesn't play a late game style. It gets big, but it never increases its tech very much. It just kind of stays on the Ling Muta.
Yeah, it was mostly Zerglings denying those bases towards the end of the game, if I recall correctly.
So, exactly. So I think this one, it never gets to the end game point, but I don't think Blinkerbot's particularly an end game bot either. It tries to win in the early to mid game. So that should be an interesting matchup.
Something to keep in mind as well, there have been no updates to these bots yet. Right. Next week will be the first round of updates that will be implemented into the tournament. So these bots are still running on the same stuff that they had at the beginning of the tournament there. So yeah, no, it should be a pretty good one, and we'll be hopping into that very soon. But right before that, let's finish talking about the rest of these. Harvester versus MadAI. That is going to be a fun one. Harvester's been around for a few seasons. So has MadAI, actually.
Yeah, MadAI has been around a long time and is just kind of like always been there, always good, but never in that top echelon of bots, but always like just flexible, good. It does a lot of just kind of solid 2 base build orders or 1 or 2 base build orders. It tries to win that way, which you could see just kind of being a workhorse on their ladder, but it does kind of fall to some of the more advanced strategies. And I think because of the way it functions, which is a cool way that it tries to like scout and then decide on a build, I think that is somewhat exploitable in that you could specifically trick the bot into thinking you're doing one thing on purpose and then it doesn't. So
yeah, we saw that. Didn't Ketrock do that to Micro Machine? That was how he kind of bugged him out a little bit last season. So yeah, no, these bots are still very trickable. They're still in their early stages. Some of them have been around for quite some time though. Like obviously, Micro Machine is just dominating the ladder and bots like that. But we'll see them next week, and that'll be the first half of our show. So we'll talk about ANIbot, Spudde, FourGateBot, and AdditionalPylons a little bit later. But here is Blinkerbot's stats. So this will be our first matchup. It will be a P versus Z. Protoss versus Zerg for all you non StarCraft watchers. Everyone here watches StarCraft.
PVG. Old meme checks out.
I think my favorite stat is the crash percentage. To be totally
I love that is a stat. We haven't seen a crash yet this season. We've seen a number of them over the course of all our seasons, but it's never been too bad. I guess if you're a bot that's made it into this, then you've probably cleaned up your crash stat a fair bit.
Yeah, you fleshed out a lot of things, but it is not unheard of to see a bot crash. I feel like this season we're gonna go no crashes. That's my prediction. I'm gonna put it on the line right here.
Always the risk of crash is like the week after we allow an update.
That's true. Yeah, that's the biggest
happen because you don't like these bots on their ladder. They get to play like 1,000 games, and then they know that it's gonna work. But you get rare events. Like one of the bots that we had before like crashed when a mothership was used, and then the cloak did like something like that, right? So it's rare events that are going to cause it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, and here's Sproutch. He is our Zerg player there, caught in a snowstorm or something. Nice win rate too, and again, I think anything over. I think most of these bots have at least over 50%.
Yeah, I think actually everyone
like 48.
is. And it's kind of, he's actually got the lowest win rate for an elo that's still pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're almost, I think they're within 5 points in the two elos if I remember that right. But the win rate for Sprouts is a lot lower, so it means that it is more variable, but it kind of means that it's winning some games against higher opponents, but then maybe dropping some games against weaker ones. So that's always a thing, is the consistency of Sprouts probably not as good, but there you go. But
he's like that player that you lose to because you don't know what he's doing. He's doing something so basic. You're like, God, he's such a noob. You'd be winning even though you're so much better. Something, it's that kind of mentality.
Exactly.
But hey, it works. Simplicity works sometimes.
Yeah, that's it. So he is Diamond 3, but he's got the understanding of the Grandmaster.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Well, I do believe. Nope, it's not. My timer lied to me. We are not almost ready. But can we do a Crown Club shout out before we hop into our games? Because we have not given a Crown Club. We should acknowledge them.
Recruiting number 25.
Number 25, if you want to have your name scrolling below us and you want to help ESChamp out and support future seasons, and you want a cool shout out like we're about to run, check out our Crown Club membership. Let's run it. It's me.
Well, that guy doesn't count.
That was I never really thought of that as a possibility of happening, even though I am.
That's the first time it does happen. Because I feel like over the season we've seen everyone at least 4 times.
Yeah,
but it's
never
not
me.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to get a little recognition for once.
Exactly.
Thank you. I do want to shout out our production behind the scenes as well. Drek, Laddie, and Peter running the show, making things look oh so smooth for you guys. Yeah. Keeping it crisp, and we are going to dive into our first game right now. Our first best of 3, a Protoss versus Zerg. Let's dive into it here in round. What are we? Round 3. Yeah, it's gone.
Well, no, it's week 3.
Week 3, same thing.
Bernie's Blinkerbot. Girafasante's Sproutch.
All right, I'm a Sproutch believer here. Oh, by the way, production, fix that little bar if you'd be so good. Okay, good. They see it. They know.
They see it.
They see it. They'll get it fixed up. So nobody freak out. Everybody calm down. It's going to be okay.
You don't Crown Club for nothing.
Yeah.
You get value here.
True.
If you want to be the member out there to bring us to number 25, make our membership a nice square number. Go for it.
Round number, right? Wouldn't square be even? Well,
25 is a square number.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is that? Oh, okay. Wait, what's a square number? Just means it's
square number means multiplied by itself. It's that. So 5 times 5 is 25.
Oh, that's right. Okay, man, it's been so long since I've taken a math class.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be that parent that tries to help his kid with 4th grade math and is like, let me Google that real quick.
See, that's fine. I think that's legit. That's what Wolfram Alpha's for.
Yeah.
It's great.
All right, we're on Everdream here. Welcome, everybody, to our first game here in our lower bracket. If you're just joining us, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Get us a little visibility on YouTube. We have a great ratio of thumbs up to people watching right now, 21 to 18. That's pretty damn good.
That's true. We skipped the voting. We
18 to 21?
Just say who you like.
Yeah, just say it in chat. No, we'll get a poll up here. I'm sure Drek can get it up and running real quick here. We'll toss him under the bus and make him do that.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, we'll get a poll going and see. I do want to favor Sproutch in this just due to Sproutch's macro. Sproutch has good macro and is able to just kind of throw waves of Zerg. And I think it's going to work unless maybe Blinkerbot can pull off a nice quick attack or something.
And it looks like that is what he's gearing up towards. He's getting Adepts. He's getting the Twilight Council. This could either be for the Adept Glaive or it could be for pretty quick DTs.
Ooh, DTs would be nice. Oh yeah, didn't he did DTs last week, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he did in the first match. I'd actually really like to see, I think this would be interesting, is to see Scarlet's FourGateBot also get 3 gates but a Dark Shrine instead. Because of the boosted mineral thing, you could get there way quicker than for, right? So there's a lot of timings that if you really, really rush DTs, if people are acting kind of normal, Zerg has their lair right around the time, or spores right around the time a DT would come. If you're boosting production, you could get there before they would have such a thing. So that would be an interesting adjustment, but we'll see how the timing works at this time. The Scouting Overlord taken out by Sproutch, or taken out from Sproutch, and supply blocks him a bit.
That'll be, man, that's curious to think about. That'll be interesting to see all the possibilities of what kind of timings can you rush out with boosted income now.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, this is going to get pushed back. Sproutch realizes what's up. He is just going to pull him. He's got Speedlings on the way, but Blinkerbot should be okay on 2 bases for a little bit. He doesn't have a wall, though, and that makes me a little nervous. A little bit nervous with the amount of lings that Sproutch likes to build.
Yeah, very true. I think actually killing that Overlord there helped him a bit because it delayed the second wave of lings by like probably about 20 seconds, which is nice.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, it slowed down the production a little. That's nice. Oh, yeah, but Sproutch is going on defensive mode. He's got 3 spines at home. He's ready for anything here. I don't think Blinkerbot's going to push out, though.
Yeah, I don't know. And actually, despite what I said before, it looks like he is getting Blink.
You spoke too soon.
So
that's what you get for trash talking.
That's it. We don't usually see him do that, but he does have control when he does.
He's got a few builds under his belt.
Yeah, so. He had started out doing that, and then, of course, found out that some other builds actually work better against many opponents. But here will be pretty cool. And against Lings, if you get enough Stalkers to just kind of keep blinking back, then you can keep everything alive and do some damage. He is moving across. This obviously won't have enough to break through this, but with the blink done, hopefully he can get away from it.
Yeah, I really do think the blink's going to give him a lot of micro potential here. If he can get into a nice choke or something, he can really fight those lings quite effectively. He's going to fight them, though, kind of just right on open ground, and there's definitely potential for a nice little surround here. Lings are going to try, but can't quite get it, so the Stalkers are going to win out for now.
Yeah, interesting there. The Lings taking a lot of extra hits that they didn't have to, and now they really are kind of outnumbered here.
And they were off creep a little, too, which isn't good.
So he's
right on the edge,
hard enough that actually with Blink and good control, 3 spines is not necessarily going to win.
Well, 3 spines and maybe a trickle of lings will be enough. We'll see here, because the lings are just going to keep kind of trickling out. 8 in production at a time here. Sproutch about to have a third base, so if somehow Sproutch could get that third base up without the Stalkers really going down there, which, you know, it looks like they're just committed to attacking the natural right now.
This is snowballing.
He could survive. Yeah, it is starting to snowball.
He's even starting to get the Overseers here now.
Oh, yeah.
If he pushes them into a supply box or gets even one of these spines down, I think it's too much. They're a queen popping out and going down right away. And, yeah, he's just controlling these so well, not letting any of them die. Even, I love this, even letting them shoot and then blinking away before it connects so that they fully waste the shot.
Oh, that's smart, yeah. It's the micro of a bot. It's just too good. Yeah, this might be too snowballed. It is that, that Stalker death ball, essentially, where they can almost blink eternally, because by the time the ones who have blinked back get to the front, they've got some shields back, and like you said, 3 spines, not even close to enough here.
Yeah, really good control. I mean, he had all the stuff to defend this, had it attack together, but we've seen this with a lot of bots that they make static defense, then their army doesn't know how to use the static defense. It goes out and chases the attacking army. well, then what's the point? The static defense behind them if you keep leaving it, and that's exactly what we saw here.
Yeah.
He had all the equipment, and then it attacked in waves instead of just staying there.
Yep, not the most efficient, and it says that in his little note in his bot weaknesses section. You know, his micro needs a little bit of improving, but yeah, if he's allowed to get up to this 3 bases, I think once you get out that kind of critical mass of lings.
Can we look at units lost for a sec? I'm just curious if anything was lost.
I think he lost an adept.
He lost the adept, which
I thought he lost at least a stalker too.
No, there are some there that I think are at like 10 HP, but then their shields are regen. But no, that's immaculate control.
Perfect stalker micro right there. Yeah. Nicely done. Blinkerbot giving Sproutch a beating here. He's gonna take a 1-0 lead and puts himself in a really good spot here. Blinkerbot is pretty aggressive. I don't know if he's ever going to give Sproutch a chance to get up to 3 bases and get anything substantial to deal with this.
This one was quite tough.
Nice game, though.
Quite solidly hit. Well done. Well done.
Mm-hmm.
Showing the potential of that name.
Which meme?
The name with the Blinkerbot.
Oh, the name. I thought you said the meme. I was like, what meme? We've got memes for our bots now?
We should definitely have memes for the bots.
I think
we do. I think some of the bots are memey. Tier's memey.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. If anybody's a meme, it's Tier. In a good way. A very good meme, I'd say. But yeah, no, good game number 1. Do we have our vote? Yeah, there it is. What is it? 3-3. Ooh, did you cast a vote, Endersword?
I did not, but
who are you gonna vote for?
When we started, but yeah, Blinkerbot was my Protoss guess.
All right, well, I'll vote Sproutch to keep it even here. Because I really don't know. I do think if Sproutch can get to just a little bit later, and just get a few more links out, he can maybe stop that. Because it's right there at that moment where, like you said, he was pushing off, not using the static defense to his advantage. If he had done that, he could have kept getting enough links to deal with that, and I think eventually get a nice little surround or something. So,
yeah, you got to flood that before it gets out of control. I mean, he moved across, and like the guts to be able to do that. Blinkerbot walked across with like 6 stalkers. And there were probably more queens than that, and spines and lings and whatever, and it still worked because they just never died, and it spiraled. And it's the snowball effect. If you're going to shut that down, you have to shut it down cold the moment it comes in.
Yeah,
and obviously didn't.
Can't let that snowball get too big, or it'll crush your town.
That's the way it is.
That's how it works. All right, game number 2 is ready, I believe. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hop into it right now. I think.
Probably.
Maybe.
Probably.
There was a timer, right? And now it says soon, so I assume it ran out.
That timer's expired.
Oh, yeah. Okay, it's coming. Here it is now. No? There it is.
Bernie's Blinkerbot. Giraffe Sante's Sproutch.
I don't know if you noticed. This is a battle of Python bots today.
Ooh.
Every single bot today is programmed in the Python coding language.
It's pretty good. It's a pretty good language.
It is. Because we've got it's almost I feel like it's showing how good Java is. We've got what, 3 Java bots up in the top tier right now? Yeah.
We do.
Maybe Java's the future of bot making.
It might be. I kind of think it's just cases where people come in and code in the language they know best.
Yeah, and they're just really good coders.
Yeah, we're better at that. So
look at that little underwater lake. Do you know that those can exist underwater rivers and lakes essentially? Have you seen this?
Underwater lakes.
Yeah, it's an underwater lake essentially. It's where the water's denser, so I forget exactly what causes it, but
yeah.
And it essentially looks and acts like a lake.
Like streams through. That sort of thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's pretty. Anyway, yeah, this is Submarine, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, why is that why it's called Submarine? Because it has those like little
It must
dome,
be.
those little.
Yeah, that's definitely submarine-ish.
Yeah, it's like a little underwater colony kind of thing, almost.
Yeah. I miss Abyssal Sea or whatever.
Abyssal Reef.
Yeah, the Abyssal Reef. Yeah, where the whole thing was underwater.
Yeah, I loved the units floating up. Oh, that was so good.
Yeah.
Good times. Yeah, there's been some good maps. I've been watching StarCraft VOD archives a lot, and I miss some of those old maps. I get how imbalanced it can be, the four player maps and the things like that due to the random RNG of where you spawn and crap like that. I liked it though.
Yeah, some of them were good. I liked some of the more unique ones. Catalina is still pretty cool with the 3 spots. I always liked. And because then you knew Force Cross is weird because there's no guessing, you know where they're at, and it's just kind of 2 different maps. But the 3 spots, you didn't know where they were. But it was, despite being IMBA, people liked it. Like people always, they didn't veto it or anything. Not really. Like,
Just cracking me up.
You can't get them adept, like no matter what.
That's cracking me up. I love how the Ling got away too. By the way, yeah. I don't know if you know, which is good. I think it's a good omen for Sproutch.
Yes, I think so. Just
oh, will the Overlord get away too?
Yeah, if this gets away, it does change the equation a little bit. I don't know if he is going to get out of range, though. I think he's going to be caught. Yeah, definitely. So again, we got the same short supply block here, and it's just about the same time, like 15, 20 seconds. He's got the spines up. Yeah, let's see if this works any better.
It feels like Blink is a lot slower this time. Is that me or am I?
It's probably, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say.
It's like just starting, but I feel like once we were looking at it at this moment for Sproutch, it was kind of just finishing, right?
It almost finished. I know that it finished like literally the moment he stepped towards the natural. Like he was across like 75% of the way across the map when it finished.
Okay.
So we'll see if it lines up to that. But he went with like the first 6, I think, stalkers.
Oh yeah, Shakura's Plateau. That was a good map.
Yeah, Shakura's was pretty sweet. I always like Cloud Kingdom was good. Everyone liked Cloud Kingdom though. But a lot of that stuff again just unplayable. I still like Steps of War. But well. Yeah, let's see if he goes. So it was like one more stalker. So yeah, if this next stalker finishes and he goes, we're facing the very same game. Although he has not moved out, and the blink is now going to finish. So yeah, so this is very similar timing. Speed is also about to finish at the same time. I think the shape of the map will play a role again. The third being kind of off to the side here. If he goes down to try and like defend this and loses a lot of lings for free in doing so, then I think that hurts. So here, a bunch of lings come out, indecisively kind of retreat back, go out, attack again.
Yeah.
But they're not getting anything. They're not even touching the paint on the stalkers. And I think that's the problem.
Oh, they're almost fighting in range. They're almost about to pull the stalkers close enough to the spines here, but the stalkers are just so perfect at keeping out of range. Yeah, they're barely getting a scratch on them right now. And these lings are getting slaughtered, and I think the inevitable snowball of stalkers is about to steamroll through Sproutch once more. Yeah, just not able to take a good engagement. Now, do you think he should put the spines further away from the hatchery? Would that help, or would he still just fight out of range?
I think they would still just kite back. They would just, although on this map it would mean kiting back down a ramp a little bit, but he just has to let the army not come out of the range of the spines.
Yeah.
Just don't fight it outside the cloud cover. And yeah, but again, we're getting the same sort of a pick apart here. So it's going to be a quick 2 games here. Can he get that one in front? He finally gets a stalker. Moral victory.
All right, it's more than last game.
Yeah.
Ooh, but it is looking like we have our first elimination Ender Sword, our first bot for the scrap pile here in Season 1.
Indeed.
It is our resident PokeBot.
Its own name.
It's what now?
We didn't get to see it yell its own name because it.
Oh yeah, didn't kill any bases.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate. Well, I'll say it for him. He put up a good fight, and our resident Pokebot Sproutch is getting eliminated. Blinkerbot will survive on, however, and move on in our lower bracket. So nicely done. Nicely done indeed.
Indeed. And I think this is a lot more of a commanding, I mean, obviously is a more commanding performance than we've seen in a little while from Blinkerbot.
Yeah, much better.
Whether it's kind of specific to Sprouts that this works so well, it obviously works because the army kind of is willing to be baited out by this, but Blinkerbot has not shown a lot of this actual blink play, but this Stalker Micro and blinking is just really, really, really good.
Yeah, looked phenomenal. I would like to see that up against some more opponents, absolutely, because like you said, that's the first time I think we've seen him really do a solid blink Stalker build this season. Anyway,
this season at least. I'm sure it has in the past. So definitely commanding there. Sproutch can make some amendments, like you said, to like he's got some of the weaknesses, kind of the micro, particularly I think some early game micro. I think it's through the middle that Sproutch is solid. The mid game for Sproutch is quite good. It's making a lot of units. It's macroing well. It's making controlling like mutas, getting harassment done. It even does the tricks of drops of lane.
Oh yeah, I would have loved to see some drops, but
which is really difficult to do. And like it's doing a lot of good things, but I think it's dying in the early game and it's dying in the late game. Yeah. And that's just got to be patched up.
Yep. Yeah, I would have loved to have seen some more Ling drop play, but Blinkerbot just did not give Sproutch a chance.
Yeah.
And that will spot. So yeah, we're going to take a quick little look now at our post-bot show. Now, again, this is for our Crown Club members, which we are one away from 25. Now, if you like a little extra behind-the-scenes content, check out our Crown Club membership. We're going to play you a little snippet from our post-bot show last week, where we had a couple bot authors joining us. I believe this is from with Spiny. So Rasper is the author of Spiny. Let's go ahead and take a look at that now, if we're ready. Are we ready?
Well, let's talk about
maybe. Yes,
so,
we're ready. Let's do it.
Oh, here we go. Actually, we're gonna see Spiny versus MadAI.
Should I talk or do I? No.
So what? Nothing happened. Right? I'm trying to remember. There were no bugs that you noticed or anything, right?
Specifically, I actually saw a bug in the second game where the spawning pool didn't get built till a bit later.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, it actually made me realise the cause of it because I noticed probably about once every 200 games on that it happens, and I could never work it out. Actually.
Oh, and then obviously,
the
the non-dodging of the biles. No,
Yeah,
that's obviously
that
something
definitely helped.
you're going to probably work on, I would imagine.
Yeah, I do have some dodging, but sometimes it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So it does dodge sometimes.
Yeah, and sometimes it works perfectly, and other times they just derp. So.
Yeah, interesting. I like the burrow micro. I noticed that's kind of a staple of Spiny play, to get the burrow and then just kind of use that to heal. And it seems that so many other bots just don't bother with detection that it ends up paying for itself. How often do you tend to go towards the burrow and movement, or do you find that's just universally a good kind of escape for individual units?
Well, the roach itself, I don't find is a very good unit, so it's just one way that you can gain value from it.
Yeah.
Because I think Zerg is a race where you have units that are difficult to get value from.
Are you gonna? Do you have any special tactics planned, like roach hit squads or something?
I do. No? Yeah, I do have. Normally 4 roaches will split off, but usually if it's a bigger macro game and there's say 5 bases from the opponent. Obviously last night MadAI only takes 2 bases, so you're not going to see it there.
Yeah, it wouldn't work as well.
Yeah, exactly. Everything he's got is that. Now in the first game that he had, he had like a nice zealot immortal army that I think if it had been controlled could have been a big danger. Does your bot have much like scouting, or is it executing kind of just a build order? In other words, like did it know that something was coming and kind of respond to it, or is it just kind of doing what it was pre-planned?
That was definitely like a response to it. Because if not, you would have seen Spudde go up to like close to 100 workers if it didn't.
Yeah.
I think the nice thing with MadAI, he's been on the ladder quite a while, but he's not been updated for 6 months. So over that time, you know, I've learned how to respond to each of these builds.
Right.
So yeah, it basically MadAI makes his decision, and then after that, Spudde can make a read on what he's doing and react to it usually.
Now, as we pull up the next game clip. All right, that was a nice little interview, and we'll have a look at some thoughts from Fidelina as well, a little bit later in the show. So stick around; that'll be after the break. We'll have a little more sneak peek at PostBots. Again, you can check that out on the Patreon. You just become a Crown Club member, and you can get access to that as well as some other cool behind-the-scenes content and some cool artwork and various things that we like to do throughout the season. But yeah, it's good stuff. It's been a fun little time doing PostBot show. It's fun having the bot authors come and chit-chat with us a little bit.
Good to get the insights and kind of the inside scoop of why things behave the way they do.
Yeah, I have no idea 90% of the time, so it's nice to have somebody who's much smarter than me come and explain it pretty nicely. So anyway, we are ready for our next best of 3, ladies and gentlemen. We've got TheHarvester versus MadAI coming up here, a PvP on ProBots. Let's hop into it. We'll have the poll up soon. Oh.
Bernie's Blinkerbot.
Ignore the production man. He is lying to you. It's this is not indeed a Blinkerbot versus I'm Melinda Bet. Oh, okay, there we go.
MadAI.
That one worked out. Obviously, yeah, MadAI here up in the top left. That was TheHarvester down in the bottom right, not Blinkerbot. So let's talk a little bit about these two here. We're on Romanticide to start this best of 3 off. Now, PvP, things can get a little bit dicey in a PvP scenario.
Yeah, it's always on a razor's edge.
Always.
For sure. Always has been one of the tightest matchups. And getting in the scouting information here is MadAI. We'll see what he gleans from this.
Drek did not say he wasn't going to make any errors today, so he's clear. He said that last week, which he didn't.
That's a good point. So I wonder, as MadAI comes in, I wonder what it can scout or discern. For instance, it sees that there is a gas taken, but does it also recognize that there was no one mining from it at the time? But now there is. Mm. So it sees kind of the earlier gas, but none actually being taken from it. Will that tip it off to anything? It's kind of bouncing in and out. I think it usually makes the call around the 2-minute mark.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at you. You know.
Yeah.
Rush Billboard. So now this is it's called the neural network, essentially, he's using, right?
Yeah, to make
his decisions. Yeah.
So it is a rush defend build order. And kind of, it is an interesting choice. I think it's the right choice in this case. Obviously, there's 2 gates there. It saw that hopefully saw and realized that there wasn't gas being mined, so figured it was something like this. And we'll go for the shield battery. One thing that MadAI sometimes had trouble with is, despite making the right call, the response to it absorbs or tries to deal with it, but doesn't try to exploit it.
Just tries to defend, essentially?
Just tries to defend and then does something else. Very often you want to take advantage of the thing that this is left your opponent weak to.
Oh, I see what you're saying. And it just does something a little unrelated, like, oh, okay, I'm just going to continue down this other path that I was going.
Exactly.
I see what you're
So
saying.
if someone's coming in mass adepts, maybe you should be trying to spin to Stargate or something.
Or get quick DTs or something, yeah.
Something to exploit, basically. What's the gap that your opponent is leaving in order to get an early attack?
I see what you're saying. All right. Well, ooh, the probes are starting to go down there. Going to chase one of the adepts and into the cannon range, and that's nice. Kills it off, and then the Zealot and Stalker will kill the other. How many workers went down? 4. So, it was a nice attack, but not too bad for MadAI either.
Not too bad at all.
It's a pretty even trade, I'd say there.
Yeah. But he is going to be economically behind, as the investment in killing the 2 adepts was a similar investment you'd make to killing 12 of them. But there were only the 2 sent out, and then Harvester has gone and expanded.
I'm excited. It does say here, and one day I got to keep saying it, so hopefully our author will put it into action, but it will switch over to machine learning eventually.
Someday.
Yeah.
In the meantime, that's the safest sentry ever.
Which one?
The one that I think is stuck between cannons and the gateway.
Oh, is he? Oh, I didn't see him.
I think he's stuck.
I'll keep an eye out. Oh, it's almost like he heard me with the Dark Templar, because of course the Harvester going Twilight. He does have the Robo actually now. I'm sorry, so he will be able to build observers, but he did go Twilight first, so he was susceptible there for a little bit to something like DTs, but I think he should be okay. He hasn't built an observer yet, though, has he?
No, he went right for the Immortal.
Okay, yeah.
And gearing up for a second push.
There's an observer. Okay, so he'll be fine. Yeah, DTs aren't going to do a whole lot. They should. I think we've seen them morph to Archons here, so in the past. So it should be. MadAI should still be able to put together a decent attack if he could maybe get a couple Archons out. He does have a Forge, I guess, just for the cannons. I haven't seen any upgrades just yet. He's just going to prioritize DTs.
Coming is good. If he gets the DTs in and splits them enough, then one observer, although he's getting second now, he could pull the army apart and cause some trouble. He's got to get a lot of damage done, and this is kind of another thing that, again, speaks to the MadAI was right to defend itself.
Oh, the observer.
But then what? So it's not expanded. It needs to now do massive damage with this.
So that's interesting. The observer saw them, but continued. Okay, there's the other observers here now, so they get shut down right away. But that observer that saw them just continued across the map. Like he didn't care. At least I'm assuming he saw him. It looked like he was in range.
It seemed like it did, yeah. So maybe I guess it knew that there was another one at home. No reason to go back home.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Well, yeah. Now he's got 2 at home, so should be just fine here. Ooh, what do you think? Is charge with +1 going to do any better here? The DTs have failed miserably. He doesn't even have enough left to make an Archon. He lost 2 of the 3 at the front, so he's just kind of got 1 spare DT here.
And the charge part is good, but I think he's only got like these 3 zealots and this the warping with stalkers on top of it.
Yeah, you should get like 8 zealots, because these zealots with charge could do quite well against a stalker immortal kind of composition, especially if you can pin him up against a corner or a wall or something.
Yeah, exactly. But he doesn't have enough gateways to really support a good zealot army. So he's going to go in. But I think this is unfortunately just not enough.
To quote the wise Todd, look at the supply. This is not even close to enough. Double the army supply. Yeah, man, Harvester's just going to crush through this.
Yeah, he basically got 1 stalker, and that's about it. Just a second.
Oof. So, what can MadAI do to come back? Can MadAI do anything to come back?
So, if he's got a secret script that would crash the Harvester,
okay,
that might be one of the options. Aside from that, there's really very little. Like, there's not a lot that the Harvester has in terms of a weakness. It's got detection, it's got anti-air, it's got 2 bases.
Great production.
Yeah. So it's just kind of winning along. The only thing it's kind of not doing is upgrades, but the game's not going to go on long enough for that to matter.
Yeah, well, and this is a really strong PvP build, too. Just do a lot of Stalkers Immortals, and yeah, you don't even need the upgrades if you've got more than the other guy.
Now, here he doesn't have detection that came up with him, apparently, so this DT is kind of going to work, but yeah, there it came in.
Vaporized.
Yeah.
He tried. He got a few good swipes off. There are a couple cannons that'll hold just for a little bit. But 3 Immortals is going to be way too much here. And MadAI will get knocked down to his last life here.
Yeah.
In ProBots here in Season 1. Nice build. Yeah, this is such a strong PvP build out of Harvester. How could you even, I guess, just try to keep up with it? Because obviously the DTs didn't work out. Maybe rush some kind of air voids. Do you think Void Race could maybe?
You could probably do something. Although where he goes like straight Stalker, then that's usually fairly decent at dealing with it.
Yeah,
I think
especially early voids.
The Tempest that we've seen work out well could probably be decent against this, but the reality is that you have to. The initial decision of defending himself has to be better where it's still expanding beyond it, because you can't. Anything that was going to work is not going to work off one base. So it either had to be hyper aggressive, in which case you're not making cannons and doing all that stuff and just do a 1 base attack, or you have to do, go up to 2 bases, same as your opponent, and then find a thing that works.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. He really did split between the two, and on 1 base you just can't afford to do that. So
yeah, you can't do both. You need to roll off. Like there's got to be an exploit. Like if someone, and this is just general, obviously for AI stuff and just StarCraft for people too, is if somebody has rushed something, they've neglected something. So your defense must roll to the area that they neglected. So it's either you absorb it and then roll into economy when they can't afford to, or they don't have detection, so you roll into that, or they don't have anti-air, so you roll into that. Whatever it is, you have to exploit the thing that they gave up to do their early attack. You can't just absorb it and then play on even or worse footing.
Yeah.
And in this case, he tried to play from worse footing after a defense.
Oh man, look at that win rate, 76%. That is very nice. 1992. It's a good year.
Yeah, it's a good year. It's a good vintage. This is a good vintage for the bot. This one, MadAI. One of the lowest crash rates that we've got, but yeah, lower elo, still a decent win rate, but it does suffer from that decision making where it's, even though it's making the right call, it's winning the battle and losing the war.
Yeah.
And I think that needs to be really shored up. It's a lot better when it can basically make a couple of calls, and I would say almost invariably, if MadAI makes a defensive call, it loses.
Mm-hmm.
If it makes an offensive call where it's like 2 base Void Ray, 2 base DT, whatever it is, then it has a much better chance. But I don't even remember the last time it made a defensive call and subsequently won.
Yeah. Well, get your votes in, everybody. We're going to hop into game number 2 right now. Type in !vote and the name of the bots. We've got Harvester versus MadAI. Game number 2 right here on ProBots. Let's get into it. So.
In face the Harvester. Madman's MadAI.
Maybe he'll get the Zeratul DT this time. He's just got to get that lucky warp in and get that Zeratul DT.
I keep watching this and I'm like, why don't they make any of the hero units? Like, do they not realize that we're doing the tournament in co-op?
Right. That would be an interesting one to do for the bots. Have some hero bot fights.
Challenge, yeah.
That could be cool.
I wonder if you could get into that. I wonder if you could load a bot into a co-op game. I don't think you can, just because of the way they load up
currently.
But it would be kind of neat to like give, instead of fighting each other, give them a challenge of like, what's the fastest completion you can do of this mission, or whatever.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, here we are on Golden Wall, our favorite map of the map pool. Everybody's favorite map, right? Yeah. No arguments. Yeah.
Very
Okay,
fun.
cool. Yeah, everybody loves this map. It's great.
Yeah.
I do think DTs could work on this one if you were able to maybe do something by coming in from behind. Like if you could mine those minerals, you gotta, of course, add that into your bot's knowledge base. But maybe sneak some DTs in behind, or have one come in from the front and from behind at the same time. There's some special tactics to be done on this map, Endersword.
Definitely is stuff you could do. I think Ketrog pointing out a really good point in chat too, which is, and this is unfortunately one of those things where, okay, I like this better. Skytoss build order chosen. Probably better for this map. But yeah, something that a AI can suffer from, like particularly if you've got a neural net to pick what's going to work. It will learn based on past experience what sort of things will work, but it can pick the wrong conclusion. So because it goes defensively into DTs, then sometimes the DTs will win.
I see what you're saying.
It will then attribute that success to the fact that it went defensive. Because unless you have an offensive DT build, like as a control group, then it will simply learn DTs are good and not understand that DTs might be good, but late DTs aren't as good as 2-base DTs offensively. So it kind of has nothing better to compare itself to. So that sort of thing can happen. So if that's what it's kind of basing it on, then it may say, well, I do still win some of these games because in those games they don't get detection.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay, so it is almost like those mind games, tricking the bot a little bit.
Yeah, essentially, it comes down to like particularly when a machine learning sort of thing is trying to learn, if it can't learn in a continuous way, that it has a bunch of discrete options, then it will occasionally pick a discrete option for a reason that has nothing to do with 90% of what that option is, but because of the other 10%.
Nice timing on that shield battery, by the way.
Yeah, really good.
Oh no, but this is kind of doing what the Zerglings were doing, just not fighting near your defenses. Here we go. This is better.
The sentry absorbing.
No, No, where are you going?
Aggressive.
No, sentry.
Yeah, aggro sentry.
You can just stay up on the top of the ramp. You'll be fine.
And the one unit that like should be aggressive is hanging back.
Right.
Yeah,
that was some nice target. The stalker he did. It looks like he specifically targeted that lower stalker of harvesters. So MadAI's hanging on by a thread right now, but I don't know if he can continue to hold. Both bots are up on 2 bases. Worker lead in MadAI's favor. If he can just get a few more units out, maybe get a little more energy on that shield battery, he can hold.
He's got to survive until like something comes out of the Stargate. And until Warp Gate's done, but this might not let him do that. Too low here. The Stalker kind of spreading out fire now, and down goes the battery.
Yeah, he's still building probes. He's up 6 workers, and he really should have just only made army supply, and that will cost the game, I think. There's an Immortal just finished up on Harvester's side, so that's going to start waddling across the map, and once it gets here, that will be curtains, I believe, for our blue Protoss here, and we're going to have another pretty quick 2-0 by the looks of it.
Yeah, it does seem so. It's a shame because MadAI is dying here with a lot of resources as well.
A lot, yeah.
Gas could have, if he had been able to hold for another maybe 30 seconds or so, could get something out with that fleet beacon, but unfortunately, nope.
Yeah, got a little too greedy, kept building probes while was attacked. Yeah, went for that. Oh, did he get the fleet beacon down and finished already?
I think it,
yep, there it is.
I actually don't know why it's not built. It must have some instruction on what to build, but tried to, I think, cut too much just on a single gateway, which is probably not enough to hold until that's up, and then, despite having the resources, didn't build anything.
Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate, but it will be the demise of MadAI and be the end of its run in Season 1 here. But nicely done. Harvester will move on and will now go up against Blinkerbot, right? No. Nope, just kidding. They're going to go wait for their opponents from the upper bracket. I did that last time, too.
Yeah.
So we don't know who his opponent will be, but well done. Harvester lives to fight another day. And MadAI to the scrap pile with you.
Indeed.
GG.
So yeah, maybe can update some of these orders. And I think this is part of the thing that MadAI does too. While the choosing of the build order is dynamic, the build order is not dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of wants to do a thing, and a number of the bots do that, where they're kind of gearing towards something, and then there's a preset condition or something, like you must have this many probes before you do this, or you must have this before you do that. And when that is denied, when whatever that thing is, it just doesn't proceed to the next thing. And I think that's kind of what we saw there, that probably had something like at 40 probes, start building tempests or whatever. And
or even maybe just the attack was like, oh, I'm being attacked, so I need more army, more ground army or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. So
something. Well, nice game so far. A little quick, but still some nice, fun, decisive wins out of a couple of our bots here. We are going to go to a quick 5-minute break here in just a moment, but before we do that, be sure to check out everything below stream. Hit that thumbs up button if you're just joining us. Get us a little bit of visibility on YouTube. It's so great to have you all here joining us. This is day 3, our lower bracket. We are eliminating bots. We've already got 2 in the scrap pile. 2 more will be joining them after our break, so make sure you stay tuned. And we will be taking another little look at another post-bots clip after the break. So again, make sure you check everything out in the stream below. Check out AI Arena. Check out their ladder. That's where all these bots come from. And we've got Discords everywhere. So many Discords to join. I almost can't keep up with how many StarCraft Discords there are these days. Anyway, we will have Jency and Ketrock joining us tomorrow on Postbots. So yeah, definitely check out our Crown Club. We're, I believe, still 1 away from 25. Nobody's shouted in my ear that we've made it yet. So if you want to be number 25, check it out. It's a good way to go. All right. Anything to say before the break?
Just stick around. We'll be right back for more games.
More ProBots here on ESChamp. We'll catch you after the break. Stay tuned, everybody.
All right.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to ProBots. We are here in our lower bracket, our day 3 of 7, or week 3 of 7, however you want to look at it. We've got 4 more bots going up against each other here, 2 of which will be eliminated.
Yes.
It is it's a brutal competition.
They will. It is. The bots themselves get sent to the scrap heap. The authors are severely punished. Torture, something like
Lock
that.
them in a room and
yeah,
make them program new bots for 6 months or something until they're allowed to compete again.
Nothing but orange juice and toothpaste. Just
I actually eat I eat Cheez-Its and orange juice together.
Really?
Yeah.
That seems weird.
Yeah, it is. It's very weird. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to kick things off very shortly here. Thank you for joining us. Again, make sure you check out everything below us in the links. You can get a bot template if you want to become a bot author and get involved and compete in ProBots. We've got some cool behind-the-scenes content that we'll be taking a little look at after our next match. And you get cool stuff like no ads in our VODs if you like to watch the VOD, because I know a lot of you viewers are in Europe and other parts of the world. So
yeah,
nice little bonus there. And again, it all goes a long way to help support ESChamp and everything we do here. So thank you so much for your support. Everybody, let's go ahead and roll another Crown Club member shout out right now, because you guys are the best. They weren't ready. Give it up for Laddie, keeping the show running in the background, as well as Drek and Peter also keeping the show going. But Laddie, he's better because he got the shout out. So that's how that works. Check it out if you like to have your name up on screen and if you like to support ProBots. But let's go ahead and talk about our next game coming up. Ender Sword, who do we have coming up next?
Well, you see, we have a German potato and ANIbot. It's Spudde.
How do you know he's German? Oh, yeah, because that's how you say it.
Yeah, the DE. DE indicates that it's
nice, pretty nice win rate, floating just above the 50%. So
yeah, it's another one where the total win rate is on the lower end for the bots that are in the tournament, but the elo is still pretty high.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So Spud's been looking good. He is our another Python. Yeah, all these bots again in Python today. So they all have that in common. Nice crash, a little high on the crash rate, a little bit, but it's fine. And then ANIbot, his opponent. I love that little icon. It's like a little model. What are those little Warhammer or whatever? War machine.
Yeah, I think. Is it actually one of them? Or
Yeah, I think it's a Warhammer one.
That seems cool.
Yes. But yeah, nice win rate as well here on him. Good at yellow, yeah, a little bit higher there, I believe. Than my short-term memory is garbage. What was Spud's?
17,
50.
Oh, is it Elo? 1854.
18. Okay.
I want to say. Yeah.
Horrible short-term. I just have a horrible memory in general, so that's fine. We'll get there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into ProBots. It has been a fun night so far. We've got 2 more best of 3s coming your way, and we'll even have a poll up on time because I mentioned it before the game. So we should get that rolling here. And if you want to vote for your is it already up? He is production's awesome.
All over this. He's
over it.
He's killing it.
Vote or die, just vote if you want to vote. You don't have to if you don't.
Damn
Nothing
right.
bad will happen. I swear.
Damn right, Puffy.
Who are you gonna vote for? Who do you think's got the edge here? ANIbot, Spud.
I think I do got to go Annie. Let's tape it.
Yeah, I think I've got to go with Annie too.
Let's make it official.
ANIbot, always one of our bots with a lot of personality, a lot of fun little stuff behind the scenes. Spud has really kind of made a splash. Was doing well in the what is this? Spud's 3rd season, I believe.
Sounds about right. I've
Something
lost
like
track of all time.
Wasn't he the brick before before a potato? Wasn't he?
Is that the same? Yeah, we had the brick, which was a furniture store.
Yeah.
And and I think it was something before that.
So he's been through a lot of renditions, but either way, this is going to be a great match. Oh, it is a Protoss versus Terran, right?
Sounds right.
I'm right. It is a Protoss versus Terran. No, it's a Terran versus Terran. I was wrong.
Okay. Yeah.
I was looking at the wrong thing. Terran versus Terran. A lot of mirror matchups tonight. Again, a lot of Terrans in general in our tournament. So here we go. Get your votes in. Oh, I wasn't watching the timer. Are we ready?
And the French word for potato is pomme de terre.
Pomme de terre. Oh, there you go. Maybe that'll be his next name when he'll go from German to French instead. Ladies and gentlemen, game number 1 is ready. Let's hop into this next best of 3 here on ProBots in our lower bracket. Let's dive into it right now.
Spud. Spud.
All right.
Spud's taking over.
Yeah. Potatoes.
Right, well, now we can officially.
Zombie losses.
Oh no.
There we go.
ANIbot.
I guess we'll let it slide. He caught himself there.
ANIbot announcing a strategy that could sum up probably 90% of all StarCraft II, 2 base push.
Yeah, that's my favorite build. 2 base all in or bust, baby.
It's the way to be.
It's the way to live. I like to live on the edge. Well, I think it can be executed to great effect here. So do you think? I guess it comes down to, can Spud defend it?
Exactly. And what is in that 2 base push? I think for ANIbot, that has increasingly become Tank Liberator. Maybe Tank Widowmine.
I'd love to see more Widow Mines. Yeah, we haven't. Last season, they really made a splash, and then we just haven't seen a lot of them since.
Exactly. Just kind of did the one mega.
And we've got, 10, 12 Terrans in this season? Come on. I want to see more Widow Mines.
It was lots. There's
lots of Terrans. The whole upper bracket, I think, is Terran at this point. All right, where are we at? We're on Romanticide once more here. Both bots looking like they want to get into a nice little 2 base scenario. So, yeah, this is going to be... I'd like to see a nice little Terran bloodbath here. War of attrition just nonstop. Marines versus Marines. Tanks just killing Marines left and right. I want to see a tank line for both sides, just directly across the middle. And this is a long middle, too. That's my dream, Endersword. One day.
It is a good dream. You got to have something to hope for.
That's all we have. So, only bot you've seen use mass widow mines. I've never... V Terran, who's that? Who's that? I've never seen that bot, I don't think.
V Terran?
Yeah, I said V Terran was the only bot I've seen.
Yeah, no, I don't think that. Maybe, yeah, probably.
Oh, it's from the ladder. Gotcha.
Yeah.
It stayed ahead of Micro Machine.
Mm.
What happened to that bot? What is he? He's like retired or something? He was too good? What's going on?
Interesting. Was replaced by W Terran.
Micro Machine's arch nemesis or something? Like,
Oh.
oh, he was cheating. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was seasons ago. Man, what was that? He played Zerg on ProBots. That was so long ago. Yeah, my memory is definitely not that good. Get your votes in. The poll is still open, ladies and gentlemen. We're here watching ANIbot versus Spudde. I forgot to check who seemed to be favored. I think it was ANIbot was favored, right? Ooh, Reaper gets in. Did we lose sound? There it is.
It was in there. It looked like he was mining for a second. Does skate out with. I love the depots going up on either side are more like a tribute to him.
Your mic changed, by the way. I hear a lot more background noise. I don't know what happened.
Oh,
there you go. It fixed itself.
okay.
Yeah, it's great now. I don't know what that was weird.
I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, no, we're just gonna kind of sit here with both bots are getting a bunker for defense, which is good. Spud's already loaded up, but the Reaper will be able to get up here and see what's going on. Sees the starport. Oh, maybe nope, isn't gonna get that SCV. Barely doesn't die to the tank fire. There we go. It does get picked off finally. So yeah, no, it's just very even right now. But worker count's pretty much even. Army supplies very even. Both bots just mining away on the two bases. Now wait, I thought this was a two base. Was it not a two base aggressive?
It did say a two base push, but it looks like it's
push.
Double bunkering.
Where's the push? Pushing your natural? Is that a thing?
It may still think we're in that weird bug where you can lift up the bunkers and take them with you in a command center.
That would be great.
That was pretty sweet.
StarCraft III, flying bunkers. It'll happen.
Yeah, we'll see what he gets to it. Maybe slightly later. He's getting combat shields, getting more tanks. So it may just be a matter of hold, and then I'm going to salvage these and go in a few minutes.
Yeah, play defensive until you're ready.
Like a minute or two. He's getting a cyclone as well with this.
I like that. Just mix in. That'll be nice to maybe snipe a tank or so. If you can get a nice little lock on. Ooh, ANIbot calling him out. Just come out and play, buddy.
Totally hypocritical, though.
Yeah, as he sits in his bunkers at home.
No sense.
As he runs behind.
It's good,
You hypocrite, ANIbot. Nah, that's why ANIbot's got such nice personality here. Yeah, okay, so it is okay. Well, ANIbot, you're full of crap. This is not a two-base push at all now. This is
although I do at least like that this is something that can happen, which is my strategy was one thing, I observed another thing, and therefore that is no longer my strategy.
Yeah, and just didn't say what the new strategy is.
That is good, yeah. Because there's no point there. I think there are too many bots that just commit to it and then say, you know what, I am going to two-base push into two bunkers and two tanks with Viking support.
But that would have been bad.
It would have been bad.
That would have been very bad for ANIbot. So
quite bad. So instead, he bailed out, and both of them are taking a third base.
All right, so we're getting into that late game turn. So sit back, get comfy, everybody. We might get that bloodbath that I want here. Just because, yeah, we're going to have great production on both sides. We're getting lots of upgrades already kind of coming down. We've got +1 and Stim on the way for Spud, where ANIbot's prioritizing Concussive Shell and the Cyclone lock-on range. Was that something missile grab? I can't remember right now. Oh my gosh, what's the grav field? Mag field?
The
Mag field accelerator. Is that it? Jeez, that was way too hard to get to.
Good old magnets. Magnets help everything accelerate these days.
I think that is going to be the answer to super fast space travel. It's going to be magnets.
It does. The problem is you got to get the magnet on the other side, I guess, first, or somehow repulse it out of there.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, can't you block a magnetic field or something? Because you could just have like a little magnetic field shield thing that, you know, you slowly open it and you basically slowly release it. I don't know. Does that work? I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I don't know.
It does make sense. So electromagnets work better the colder they are. So if you were to build a magnetic coil in space, then you'd be able to hypercool it at a very, very big level. And then that would, if you then accelerated a ship, the problem is acceleration itself. We can launch anything unmanned as fast as we want. The moment you put a person in it, it's flat. We're done. People can't go anywhere.
Well, but it's up to us. It's just the acceleration, right? Once you get up, because if you think about it, we're moving at what, thousands of miles an hour technically.
We are. You're right. It's the acceleration, but to accelerate, you can move people at about 10. Well, we'll talk about this.
We got accelerating missiles going and fighting here. Spud's taking some hits. ANIbot actually might get caught by Spud's army here. Spud's swinging around. That's a big force out of Spud.
Flanked here. He's keeping the alive here. Only concussive shell. We're able to take some out. The counter flank.
Yeah, ANIbot has the tank set up to catch Spud trying to catch ANIbot's Cyclones. The Cyclones are barely getting away from these Marines here. I don't know how they're still alive right now, but they are still picking things off.
Yeah, they've been splitting enough of the army away that the Marauders on the other side are able to absorb tank fire and kill a lot. Both of them ultimately just kind of losing a lot of army here, but the reinforcement by ANIbot, I think, should be enough to take this out.
Man, this went from 0 to 100 real quick, and it is just chaos. So more tech buildings coming down for ANIbot, and those Marauders are the
exact acceleration problem we were talking about. It did speed up. This one tank now severely out of position, trying to find a nice little zone to be in. A good spot actually behind these rocks. If that Reaper had dove, he would have been a hero.
Oh, right. Yeah, get right on. Well, he probably would have died to the tank fire, and he's alive now, so. Die a hero or live something. I don't know.
Distracted enough. Oh, and he was spotting for that tank, the tank line over there, but he
he was.
So he will back out of here, but as a net result, we've got double the army supply for ANIbot, and he definitely came out way ahead in this. It looked like he was going to just get slapped on that one, but then he kind of flanked the flank, basically.
Yeah, it was interesting. Just the Cyclones able to really pull Spud thin, essentially, because the Marines kept chasing him to the left while the tanks kind of got left alone for Marauders to pick off here or there. Yeah, that was chaos, and now we're just going to go back to chilling here. So we were talking about magnets here.
You can basically accelerate a person. You're right to say that on Earth, we're currently being accelerated at all times at 1G, which is 9.8 meters per second squared. So you can accelerate people probably about 3 to 4G without them eventually passing out.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it short term higher than that, but you couldn't put them in a year's long flight higher than that. So the problem is if you accelerated people at like 1 or 2G, it would take you.
Oh, hold that thought. We've got a Thor starting to fight here. This is about to be another bloodbath. Thor's going to actually die pretty quickly, I think. Yeah, a couple tanks are going to finish it off, but a second Thor.
There.
They just died unnecessarily.
Yeah, he was kind of a detriment there because I think it almost blocked out the Bio Army, which is now going to churn in this and throw him back any gains at this point.
Still a decent little spot. I mean, ANIbot's going to be able to not going to be able to push through, but he is going to be able to kill some units and maybe bait Spud into the choke here. Ooh, almost Spud thought about going for it here, but nice interference matrices as well. Shutting down the tank fire, really giving Spud some breathing room here, which is nice. Here's this bloodbath, man. This is just going to be a war of attrition, just non-stop heads button. ANIbot's taking over the entire bottom right side of the map almost completely here. Spud's, keeping up. He's got 5 bases now, so Both bots macroing really well. Upgrades looking phenomenal. There's upgrades across the board for both our bots here. But it looks like Spudde is finally going to be able to beat ANIbot back, and ANIbot's going to have to fall back, regroup, try to get a little bit more out. And with as many bases as ANIbot's got, I'm not too worried. The army supply is still even though this looks really bad for ANIbot, the army supply is still almost dead even. So if ANIbot can just group up and maybe make a stand somewhere, I don't know where does ANIbot make a stand here? There's just stuff everywhere, Endersword. I can't even keep up with this.
It's very true. Very true.
There's a base getting attacked. Spudde's at the same time trying to push into ANIbot's whatever base number this is. ANIbot does lift off that command center and evacuate here, as just a few units are there poking at it, but nothing is there to defend. Vikings in the sky are fighting for air superiority here to try to give the tanks a little bit more vision. And Spudde is just going to keep inching forward, but the Thors are here, and they're going to catch the broad side of the tank line here, and should be able to just make mincemeat if they just target them.
Yeah, he's actually really lucky that these unsieged while he was dealing with the Marines in front. Nice disruption on one of the tanks, and he will be able to take out this position, but I think it was kind of a bit of charity on Spudde's part to unsiege and try and reposition 4 tanks at once.
Yeah. I got a little charity work. Hey, Marines getting cleaned up here as well. So yeah, ANIbot will stabilize. Does finally push back Spudde's attack now. And ANIbot comes out on top again with a decent army supply advantage, but he's about to throw that away with a couple Thors just kind of off on their own mission here. And they're just going to get gunned down pretty quick here. Yeah, that wasn't the best. Vikings still skirmishing in the skies. Yeah. This is a Terran battle, Endersword. This is
incredibly scrappy. This is one of the evenest Terran on Terran fights that we've seen. Just kind of fighting in different little detachments.
Very tug of war-esque, too. Very back and forth. Yeah, looks like ANIbot's got the air control.
Yeah, it looks like he's finally kind of steamrolled over that here now. But he keeps getting caught in this one choke position.
Yeah, he just can't get through those rocks. Maybe if he cleared out the rocks, there'd be enough room for the Thors to kind of waddle through. But yeah, the Thors do seem to be a poor choice. I agree with that, mind me. They haven't really done a whole lot. They've just kind of gone up. They've gotten a couple kills. They did have that one nice moment of catching the tanks, but kind of like you said, that was more of Spudde's doing than ANIbot's. Spudde was just kind of like, oh, here's my tanks. I'm going to leave them out in the open. So,
yeah, very true. Very true.
Yeah, this is just a bloodbath. This is what I want. Is ANIbot trying to take Spudde's base?
It does look like it. That's a
that's
a very bold.
just wheel it out. Hey, in a war of attrition, that's it. You got to starve the other guy out. That's how you do it. Ooh, what's going on here? Okay, Spudde's swinging around, but ANIbot's going to try to come in behind. Battle cruisers even in the sky. They do have Yamato as well, so he's going to Yamato a Viking. He's going to kill the Raven anyway. No, he doesn't. The Raven gets away. No, it doesn't.
It goes down to another Viking, or a Cyclone, actually. Yeah, here now the tank coming in position.
Oh my god.
The BC stutter steps and then teleports away here, taking huge fire up front. The tank line still standing strong for Spudde, but it's kind of funny. If you just showed people this battle, you would assume that they were on each other side of the map. Like you would think, you'd think that ANIbot
was on
direction because of where Marine reinforcements were coming from, but we're now kind of starting to stabilize this.
I think ANIbot's got it. Just the nice switch into just total air control. There's so many Vikings in the sky. They're going to keep the battlecruisers safe from everything except for missile turrets, which that battlecruiser's just soaking them up right now. But another battlecruiser does come, and they, of course, have been jumping out to go home and repair as they get low, which I think that's what we saw.
Yeah, he's now, with the tanks now in that gap, he's totally fine. He's kind of secured this position.
ANIbot's got it.
The PF, yeah. And I think we're good here. Oh, he's even got that tank on the lower part of the map, too.
Oh, yeah.
So, surrounding the planetary, and that will fall. This has now really cut him off from the main front lines. If he kind of gets the bottom of this ramp, there's really nothing to rally around.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that should pretty much do it, I think. So that was one of Spudde's most important bases. There is this one up here, but it's actually under assault by 2 Thors who do outrange it. So that will eventually, I would imagine, fall, or at least it's going to become a money sink if it starts getting repaired. But nope, no repair even. It will just fall to the Thor. There we go. Thors will redeem themselves and do some nice work there. And yeah, ANIbot's got this in the bag. 122-15. Army supply. Nicely done. What a scrappy game here. It was
very, very scrappy.
Slow start, but then just, man, pedal to the metal. Huh?
Especially compared to the first couple of series that we had tonight. This one, very back and forth.
Very even, yeah.
Yeah. And look at the upgrades on both sides, too. Like, both of them just really keeping pace very well during the entire game.
It does feel like ANIbot's got just a bit stronger late game, though, with that air transition going up into all those battle cruisers and the tank against primarily tank marine composition. That's going to dominate, yeah.
Yeah, the BCs and
left.
Thors, too, can't be underestimated. They broke the tank line.
Yes.
It was on his side of the map, and yeah. Thors can be very hit or miss because you get, like, you'll often get one or two, and then those one or two can either just die for no value, or they can do a lot, and it's not, if they just kind of keep dying, you never get to like 4 to 6 of them, and then they never really do much. So they're very specific. I'd say Thors are very like control heavy. They have to be going for a specific objective, and we saw that it worked out for the tank line, and then the BCs were just a game ender.
Yeah. Well, I like it. Yeah, it worked sometimes with Thors, but didn't other times. Yeah. And yeah, to kind of to your point, you do have to be very planned with your Thors because they're so slow. You can't just poke in and attack and run away. Yeah. They have to be in the right place at the right time, which again, they're so slow. It's hard to get them in that right place, right time all the time. So good stuff, though. Nice matchup. I like this little TVT we've got going here. We'll have our next match soon. I do believe voting is closed, so it looks like ANIbot is favored by just a couple of votes here. Which, yeah, it's looking so strong, especially if we get into that later game. I do really favor ANIbot once again. So
I think so. Just kind of keeps its feet moving, keeps the tech tree going.
Got to keep moving.
Also taking the very aggressive bases on his opponent.
Yeah, taking his opponent's bases.
Yeah. And I think we'll have to see what the map is here next too, because I think Spudde having a planetary and controlling that one choke really, really helped in the entire game, and it could have been over a fair bit earlier if it wasn't for that one choke. But a lot of maps have chokes, so we'll see what develops.
Yes, we will. Oh, man, still a good amount of thumbs up for the people watching. Thank you, everybody who has liked it so far. Before we hop into game 2, if you haven't yet, make sure you hit that little thumbs up. It gives us some help on YouTube. All right, game number 2 is ready. Let's dive into it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're currently in match number 3 of our lower bracket, day 3 here on ProBots. And let's dive into our game number 2 right now.
Sabe losses. ANIbot. Spuds. Spudde.
Such a sad Spudde. If Spudde makes it through the lower bracket here, I want to see a change around and maybe a smiley face on that potato.
True.
It's got to get through ANIbot first, though.
Yeah. But if he doesn't make it through, we're turning this guy into French fries.
Yeah, he doesn't go to the scrap pile. He goes to the fryer.
Just eating him. Goes to McDonald's.
So you could actually build a computer out of a potato. Right?
Yes. I think that's a big part of Portal 2.
Portal 2. Yep. Check it out. I love that game. I have no idea where it came from. My brother had it and he never used it. You can buy basically a GLaDOS potato kit, and it's like a little voice thing. You plug it into an actual potato and it'll like talk and stuff, because potatoes obviously will produce electricity. Fun fact, if you didn't know, you can use a potato for electricity.
Yeah. It is fun. You can do the light bulb experiment. A lot of people did that in school or something.
Yeah, and that's essentially all it is, and then it just plays little GLaDOS voice clips. So
I still remember one of the first games I ever had on Steam was the original Portal.
oh, so good.
They offered it for free one day.
Oh, in the orange box, right? Wasn't it free in the orange box or whatever?
They offered, whatever it was. Every now and then they do that stuff. So
Yeah.
I had never. It must have been like 10 years ago, but I had never heard of it at the time.
Were you doing Did you get Team Fortress 2, right, with it? It was Team Fortress, Portal, and something else, I think.
Yeah,
Half-Life, maybe?
Half-Life makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they just offered that stuff free. And
Yeah.
then Portal was the only one I really played.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Hey, we should play some Portal 2. I think they've been updating some
Oh,
stuff. Yeah.
Nice.
I'd be down to get into that. Anyway, we're here on Golden Wall. A lot of same maps tonight here. Seeing a lot of Romanticide, a lot of Golden Wall here. That's fine. That's fine. I like this map. This is a really good one. Yeah, I'm curious how this one's going to pan out here. It looks like I can't see the timer. Oh, yeah. Okay, never mind. Screen's just cropped a little bit weird there. All right, 2 base versus 2 base once more, ladies and gentlemen.
Are they going to catch each other here?
We're going to have a nice slow start once more. Oh, yeah. So, wait, we were talking about magnets and shooting people at the speed of
I guess,
sound.
the conclusion of that was if you accelerated someone at 1G, it would take approximately 1 year to get them up to the speed of light.
Gotcha.
That you had the energy to continue to do that, which you don't.
Yeah.
But it basically that becomes the problem for human things. Even if we found some way to propel people at a really, really high thing, it would take a long, long time to get someone safely to that speed.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, actually, they've added it to Disney Plus. But if you ever watch The Martian, I think one of the premises of that was that it takes a while to slow down.
Yeah.
They could get them from Earth to Mars, but they had to accelerate and decelerate slowly.
Oh, yeah. No, traveling through space is not an easy process by any means.
No. Yeah, I haven't even done it.
I know. It's so hard. Not even we can try it.
Yeah, that's getting up there. It's pretty rough.
Dark Age of Camelot 2. Oh, God.
Is that? I used to play Dark Age of Camelot, like, what was that, 20 years ago?
Is that really what the world needs right now?
Yeah. I have been playing more EverQuest, which is around that era.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of the same.
Yeah. There was an EverQuest too, but it's not good.
All right. Slow start here. Yep. Once again, both bots. It looks like ANIbot's going to take the third base closer to Spudde.
Yeah.
He's going to kind of be in a little bit more of an aggressive place, but still a really great spot to hold because of that ramp. So, I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. Once again, yes, not. I almost think he's saying that because maybe Spudde reads chat or something.
Yeah.
Because he's abandoned that a couple times.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. He's also not yet, like, he's bunkered up this location and sieged it up, but he's not taken it yet.
Well, let's see. Maybe he's just trying to preemptively secure it, because on this map specifically, that is kind of a point of contention there. Yeah, a really important spot to hold. You know, if you lose that, it's just hard to push out, because if you push out from your natural, you're on the low ground all of a sudden to where their army is. So no, yeah, I think it's a nice move out of ANIbot, just kind of preemptively secure that location. Get it ready. I think Terran should do that more. Just secure locations around the map. Nice little chokes.
Randomly bunker them.
Just randomly bunker them. Bunkers are cheap. If you see a big army coming, you salvage it and run away. You just have to be a lot more attentive. So for a bot, I think it would be a lot more viable to just kind of bunker everywhere. Right?
Well, I think that was at one point a really famous boxer strategy.
Oh yeah,
from Brood War, that he built. I forget exactly the details, and someone that knows would know better. But he randomly bunkered in like a couple different spots far away from the base, but to have somewhere to fall back to, but also catch drops or something.
Well, if you can only have 12 units in a control group too, it's a little easier to defend a spot against just 12 units than 30 F2'd army supply.
True. Although that was not generally a limitation for them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, for a pro player, that doesn't mean a whole lot, but for us normal people.
Yeah.
It would have worked really well. Ooh, upgrades coming down. Yeah, just pretty much the exact same build that we saw last game. The same upgrades. I believe Concussive Shell just finished for ANIbot, so now he's getting Stim. Stim for both bots actually coming down now. There's Concussive for Spudde. The Cyclones. I think that's really the bread and butter here. Or the butter on the bread, rather, in this build for ANIbot. I really like the Cyclone edition.
Yeah, the control there was really good in the first game. It just pulled he definitely would have lost if the Cyclone control was any at all worse. Because he ended up with a lot of red Cyclones at the end.
Oh, they were at like 5 health or something. Yeah. But they got so many kills. They just traded so efficiently. And that's kind of the name of the game sometimes in TVT. Ooh, here we go. Is trading efficiently. ANIbot's going to push across, salvaging both bunkers. So, yeah, I got no intention to take that third base by the looks of it. Just going for the kill.
See, he really was doing a 2-base push. Although he's getting it. He's even getting the CC at a place that is not where he was located.
This is going to be a hard spot to push up, and here we go. This is what I was talking about earlier, but Spud's now the one defending that upper ground. It's just so hard to push up the ramps into that position. It's such a good spot to hold.
Yeah, making the correct decision to not pursue this. We see way too many bots just insist on attacking into some place that they have just no reason to be there.
Oh, we kind of saw it out of FourGateBot in week 1. It tried incessantly to attack the high ground, but just couldn't see it. But it just kept trying. It's like, no, I'm going to attack up there. And yeah, just bots can do that.
Cyclones here. I like the addition of the Concussive Shell. It's one of the only ways that you're going to get a unit like the Cyclones there to tag one and take it out.
That's nice. Because they're slippery. They'll slip away easy. But that Concussive Shell will keep them in place. Here we go. Yeah. Spudde now is going to be the aggressor. Here's that little back and forth tug of war action a little bit again. A little less aggressive this time. ANIbot just testing the waters and pulling home. But here we go. Spudde. Let's see if he can get his feet wet. Oh, it's going to be a good engagement. Does get a nice spot on the high ground. ANIbot has a nice concave, though. Does have tanks on the north. The Cyclones on the south not really doing anything. They got anti-armored missile, and now they're just kind of out of the fight.
Yeah, we've got to see Spudde get some reinforcement. Okay, I like this better, sieging one tank at a time. He's in a really good spot, but he needs some cover for these tanks, or else they can get whapped. And here playing that unsiege dance, and they're going to take a lot of shots for free.
Yeah, ANIbot is going to absolutely clean this attack up. Spudde's still trickling units over this way, but needs to issue the retreat command. There we go. They will pull back, not before losing one, maybe 2 more tanks. Nice grenade. Closes the tank even closer. Gets a third. Oh, brutal. Spudde taking some big losses here.
Yeah, I think he initiated that well, and then kind of cost himself some damage with the tank repositions at some bad times.
Yeah, just couldn't quite get into a sweet spot there. Yeah, it was unfortunate.
It was almost a bit of a bluff there where ANIbot was holding back as if the tanks had cover. And they didn't for a while, and they were kind of holding on to that, but eventually got driven out. Cyclones trying to play Mr. Sneaky and go around the edge there, but no.
Not happening. Okay, well, Spudde's still in this. Spudde's still expanding. As far as macro's concerned, Spudde's actually a little bit ahead. And look at those upgrades. Spudde is cruising 1-1 for the bio done, +1 attack is done for mech, +1 armor on the way. We've just got a couple of upgrades coming down for ANIbot right now, so ANIbot will fall behind just a little bit potentially in the upgrade war, which in TVT that could change everything. This is a random little platoon. What are they? They're just guarding the mineral patch there.
Up there, I was gonna say, like at first I thought they might be SCVs, but they were just chilling.
They're just securing the location. Oh, look, they just repositioned too. Yeah, I saw on the mini map. I didn't see. Yeah, they're moving around. Huh. Yeah, I guess they're just waiting, maybe checking to make sure no harass comes.
That's a training camp.
Yeah.
Training camp for later.
Running drills. It's fine.
I like this comment. The ramps are key for humanity to defeat the bots. It's very true.
Instead of having stairs up to your house, just put a ramp. You'll be safe.
The next Terminator movie should be like John Connor going back in time and advising his mom to elevate everything 3 feet.
Or just make her house more ADA accessible.
Destroy Skynet. that they won't know what to do.
There you go. All right, another big fight is inevitable here. Army supply is getting over 100. Both bots about maxed out, and here we go in the middle of the map. Thor's going to lead the charge. Nice anti-armor missile will soften up Spud's army just a little bit, but the tanks are siege. Actually, the army get a little bit too far forward for Spud, but it might just be enough bio to push through what ANIbot has.
Oh yeah,
did ANIbot just not have tanks? What happened?
It had tanks. Some of them got neutralized there, but also they lost air support in the sight blocker.
Oh.
Really screwed them.
Yeah, just heavy losses for ANIbot, and that could have just turned this whole game on its head.
Yeah, is jumping on this position. We'll be able to take out a bunch of SCVs, potentially get this command center, at least put it into burning.
I think he's gonna. It's gonna be close. Maybe. Yeah, I think he's gonna get it. Yeah, no SCVs are there to repair it. Should burn down. Oh, I don't know. Maybe he can save it still.
He
Here he comes. SCV? No, SCV's going up the ramp.
Just doing something else.
Nope, doing something else. Nope, too busy to save that command center.
He's on the high ground here anyway. I think he's broken him completely regardless. I thought he was gonna run out of steam there, but he is still going. There's a single Thor in the back doing a lot of damage. One on the ramp here as well. The last guardian of the main.
Not enough repair on it though. There is one SCV trying desperately to keep it alive, but it's just not enough. The Thor in the mineral line's actually still alive.
Yeah, that one's still going good. It's just about to die. There it goes down to the tanks. And we'll get overrun here. You can see the top base was taken. The top two bases actually were both taken during this.
ANIbot still has decent income. Army supply is definitely starting to really favor Spud though, and Spud just has a nice spot on this ramp. But if Spud commits a little bit too much to this main and gets stuck maybe just below the ramp and dies tank fire, but no, Spud will actually go up towards. Nope, will he? Maybe thinking about going towards the third there. Okay, yeah, he does. He's going to discover, and he's going to get a tank set up in range of the mineral line by the looks of it. So ANIbot's really on a timer here and might just be dead. I just don't think there's enough production for ANIbot. Yeah, that army supply now double in Spud's favor. Yeah, is that it? Did Spud win?
It does.
Do we get an ace match?
I think we're gonna.
Oh my goodness.
I think we're about to.
Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, get hyped for the ace match.
Yeah.
Spud is doing it.
There's still a surprisingly large army supply by Annie, but it's hard to see like coming back economically or anything at this point. But if you had if you had shown the fights, I wouldn't have thought that he still had 60-something army supply.
Well, we got a hero Thor here is being repaired, and he is cutting off reinforcements, but the big ball of Marines here is going to chase him down and should be able to gun him down here now as well. No planetary for defense.
Vikings finally land here, and that's where a lot of army supply was kind of hidden.
Okay.
So as they finally die, that is going to be it, and we'll potentially get this command center taken out for a second time.
All right, Spud showing that he is still got a chance here, and he is going to bring us to the ace match. What a series! It's a nice little refreshing little break. You know, the first two matches were a little one-sided, a couple quick 2-0s. So it's nice to have a nice even TVT here.
Yes, that's what you want to see. I mean, this is probably even before the fact that we've gone 1-1. This is probably the closest TVT we've had in a long, long time.
Just one of our closest matches in general, I'd say, for sure. Because even though Spud's, definitely won this, ANIbot has been holding on for quite some time here. Just showing, there is a lot of power there still and a lot of ability to recover in certain scenarios. Obviously, this one is just a little too much to handle, but good matchup. I am very excited for game number 3. ANIbot does type GG, but doesn't quit the game. So BM. Should we disqualify ANIbot for being BM? I think.
Oh, I mean, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Why not? Why not? Get a hold accountable.
Yeah, gotta make an example of him.
Yeah. So yeah, clears us out. The two bases up there. ANIbot does just kind of keep moving. Still trying to retake
Takes
base.
2 more. Trying.
Spud with the bank there too. Well, we'll take that down. ANIbot still trying.
So what happened? Why did ANIbot not get to battlecruisers this time? Was it just too soon of an attack from Spudde there and just shut it down before ANIbot started the transition?
Yeah, it does look like. So I think there's two factors. One is that, unlike the first game, he did actually attempt a 2-base push.
Yeah. So you're right. Yep.
To that, and then it took him. He was hurt by the time he got like the 4 bases up, which is around when he switched before.
Gotcha. Yeah, I forgot that he actually did follow through with the 2 base, and I think that changed a lot of just how the later game.
Some response too, where it's like, I'm gonna do Vikings until I have superiority, then I'll switch. And I think he didn't get to that point before the end of the game.
Gotcha.
That one kind of did, but like it was too late to do anything.
The last supply depot goes down, and Spudde will tie things up. Get hyped, everybody. We're getting into an ace match scenario here. Spudde, nicely done. That's what I like to see. All right, so what are we going to see in game 3 then, I guess? Will it just kind of depend on what is ANIbot? Seems like ANIbot's kind of the driver here. And
I think so, yeah. I think he'll be the one initially deciding what the engagement is. I think the map, I think we saw 2 things that were heavily map dependent. And I really do think this would be something that's be interesting to take a look at tomorrow in post-bots, but the site blockers on that push, I think really made it one-sided. So by him having the air control pushing him back and then having the army lined up just on one side of the site blocker, I think was the thing that made that attackable. Whereas I don't think other than that, it would have just been death through a choke. And it wasn't. So I think that was definitely key. So I think my kind of response here is I think it's map dependent, because then the other thing about it is the 3rd base here, and we've seen many fights on Golden Wall right at that point. That's probably the most engaged point, as you were pointing out, is up a ramp into the 3rd. Many other bases, many other maps are either going to have a flat 3rd or even down a ramp 3rd. If that's the case, then you have a totally different fight, and totally different things work. So
yeah, well, we'll see how it pans out. I don't know what our next map is.
I don't know. Steps of War.
Steps of War, yeah, that'd be fun. We should do a retro maps bot tournament. That'd be fun. All right, ladies and gentlemen, game number 3, our ace match between these 2 Terran Titans. Let's hop into it right now and decide who will get eliminated and tossed in the scrap pile.
Sabe losses. ANIbot. Spuds. Spudde.
So I think the late game is going to be ANIbot's golden ticket. If ANIbot, instead of doing the 2-base attack, goes to that early 3rd again and just gets to that late game, I think that's where ANIbot's going to just kind of crush Spudde once we get to the battle cruisers, that kind of thing. But that being said, I don't know that'll happen.
Yeah, I think you're right on with that. I think if Spudde can get some initiative and put Annie on the back foot, then I think that will be key. This is potentially a good example, like I was talking about, the 3rds that are less defensible. So if Spudde is pushing into that, or sorry, ANIbot's pushing into that, then I think Spudde may have a harder time defending the initial push into it, but it'll really depend where that engagement happens.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, let's get comfy here. We're on Everdream for our ace match, and it'll probably be another slow start. Most TVTs seem to be these days, just kind of getting to that little later game scenario. Unless, of course, they're doing some cheeky barracks proxy or something, but both these bots like to do a little bit more standard. I don't think we've ever really seen too much cheese out of either of these.
Yeah, these guys haven't. The one that was notorious for that was Strelok.
Yeah.
They always did the barracks proxies, but he ended up being way better off not doing them as well.
Yeah.
So despite being the actual pro game meta, it's not. None of these bots trying to play like Maru.
Yeah, right. Maybe that's their problem. Maybe they should try to play like Maru more.
Mhm.
No, they're better than Maru, probably. You know, in theory, they should be, right? Their micros technically better. They've got more actions per minute. Ooh, SCV goes down here. So wait, did ANIbot say what ANIbot is doing?
I don't know if it did announce it. If
I
it
don't
did,
think it announced.
but
No. It's
no,
going
no.
silent this time. Stealth tactics. It doesn't want to reveal its hand, I guess.
It's technically the relatively quick.
There it is.
Actually, not even relatively. They're just quick third.
That's just like, yeah, straight to third almost. Does he even have a factory down or anything?
No, I think just that barracks.
Yeah, just 1 barracks, 3 command center. Bold move. Greedy, but I think it could really pay off here because Spudde doesn't, Spudde's not super aggressive. It waits until about the 5-6 minute mark until it makes its first real push across. So I don't know. This is gonna be interesting, Understood.
Yeah, definitely, we're gonna get a different game out of this one. There's a lot you could do with Mass Marine, if that's what he's gonna do. But if this is also just kind of a bare minimum force to then tech up to whatever, but the fact that he's adding on more barracks is indicative of something.
Yeah, it does feel very much. Does he even have a gas yet? I don't think he even has. Oh yeah, he took his 2 gases at the natural, but not at the main.
Not the main.
Interesting. Okay, so he's getting gas. So we've got some tech labs coming down, engineering bay. So maybe some upgrades, but yeah, just a very, very heavy Marine 3-base style for an opener here. Which the Marines are going to be able to deter Banshees early on, or maybe drops or something. He's just got kind of that bare bones defense, like you mentioned. So
yeah, for sure, it might be enough. I mean, we saw in the first couple of games, it took a while, even though Spudde was obviously defending early on anyway, but it took a fair bit before it felt comfortable to push out on its own. So if ANIbot has either transitioned to something or decided not to and just has kind of a massive bio ball at the time, then that's an option as well, because he's still showing no signs that he's going to do anything but.
Yeah, I love this early third base. I think it's absolutely brilliant. It's greedy as all can be, but I think it's going to pay off here.
He's even getting a second engineering bay, so kind of a double upgrade bio style.
Yep, just very heavy bio. I like it. I love the bio style. I think it's going to work great. Would like to see some medvacs worked in, but again, I don't think we even have a factory. It is just straight Marine production. Oh, and Marauder. There's a Marauder or 2 kind of mixed in, but yeah, just straight bio production and upgrades. Nothing else. Interesting. It's a very old. It feels like a very old style, almost like a Wings of Liberty or something, or almost like Brood War style.
I mean, you certainly don't see this a lot. That like weirdly, like Terran is the easiest race to tech up. There's only 2 buildings. Like 2 buildings and you're done, basically, on top of the barracks, and so you get it's just automatic that you get the factory and the starport. But to go this late into a game without them is.
There's one finally. As we're trash talking, ANIbot does throw down a factory, so we'll be moving into the later stuff. Maybe it is just to get 2-2, get the armory and get 2-2 and stuff. Who knows? But Spudde finally getting a third base here, but ANIbot. Oh, never mind. I just saw all the red Marines. There it is though. 4th base will come down for ANIbot, so ANIbot's going to stay well ahead in the economy. And yeah, look at that, 60 to 50 workers. Army supplies dead even. That income is just going to be so extra income is just going to be so advantageous for ANIbot with these upgrades starting to finish now too. +1 armor already done. So Spudde's fallen just a little bit behind in the upgrade battle. Has a second engineering bay about to finish up though. So hopefully we'll be able to catch up and keep up pretty quickly here. Because yeah, like we were seeing last game, both bots very good with at least keeping up with the upgrades.
Yeah, definitely. ANIbot is just continuing to expand. Despite this, mass bio, I kind of expected this to be accompanied by being like 80 supply in Marines by now, but he's not. He's actually like very even. And if you went with like the army value, like which army would win, it's probably Spuds right now, and definitely will be the more tanks that are at.
Yeah, well, at this exact moment though, because there are the Vikings and the Raven and stuff in the sky. If ANIbot came in from two different directions, like it would just crush
if he really
Spudde.
starts on this, then he would do well. But I think, you'd have to take a good engagement.
Oh yeah. Well, isn't that the case in any
It's always-
battle? Not always. Sometimes you want to take a bad engagement as a distraction, maybe to take another battle somewhere else or something. Oh man, 5th base ANIbot is just going absolutely ham on the economy right now.
Yeah,
And man, it is Fusion Core on the way here. The BCs come. This is it. We're getting into that late game.
yeah. So interesting here. He
Summoning a demon.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. That's what these guys are apparently doing. That they're clearly deliberately going out, scouting and clearing a base before it's taken. Kind of they're like the forward team, which is nice.
Yeah,
Here-
I do like it.
The army. So given that Spud is the aggressive one, if the Bioforce can like jump on this before it's set up, then that would be great. Are they going to be okay coming in from the north here against 3 siege tanks? Let's see.
Ooh, I don't think so. Yeah, this is with an anti-armor missile as well. Spud is going to decimate ANIbot's army, and what was 60 army supply is now dropped to 30, and everything is in full retreat. ANIbot perhaps a little too greedy with 5 bases.
Yeah.
And just a lot of bio, perhaps far too greedy. 2-2 is about to finish up, but that's not going to help much when you have no bio to use it.
Yeah, army just kind of deleted. A case where he had to be out on the map. So I don't think that it was even wrong. Like I don't think that the army was wrong. I think it needed to be on the opponent's side of the map and either force siege ups and slow down the advance or catch the advance as it was sieging up.
Mhm.
That's the only way to win it. If he's already at your base, then you either have to let that base go or that's it.
That's it. Yeah, you just have to let it go, I think, yeah.
So you can't attack into it once it's sieged up. And the whole point of having a highly mobile bio army like that is to get the jump. And the moment you don't have the jump, you can't take that fight.
Yeah, and we saw him coming in just a big clump too, so he wasn't spread out at all, and just ate the tanks to the face, and that'll pretty much be it. And ANIbot will go out in our lower bracket here, and Spud will be moving on, staying alive. It's always sad to see ANIbot go, always with such good personality, and always brings us such great games. ANIbot's been around for quite some time now as well.
Indeed,
So.
I did definitely want to see this get to the BC. I'm also looking at the shape of the map right now and thinking where ANIbot's army was, which was centralized.
Mm-hmm.
Spud took the path which it's taking for reinforcements now. You would expect it to come right down the middle into that base, but it didn't. It swung south.
Yeah.
So maybe ANIbot was out of position from what he expected would be the correct course, and then had to swing down when it was too late.
Well, it just goes to show some phenomenal decision-making and work out of Spud there. Choosing the right path, coming in, getting sieged up, and just snowballing from there. Nice game. What a great series, though. Yeah, ANIbot was such a strong game number 1. I was really a little bit nervous for Spud, but Spud just turned it around completely and just dominated.
Yeah, I think it came down to the exactly how good that ANIbot fight was with the Cyclones.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't as good, as well engaged, then he would have lost that too. So I think not having an equivalent in the following 2 games is what has caused this.
Yeah, well, nicely done, Spud. You're moving on. ANIbot, it is time for the scrap pile for you, unfortunately. But hopefully, and I'm sure we will see you again next season. Same goes for all our bots that have been eliminated so far tonight. Thank you so much to our bot authors for giving us such great shows. It's always sad to see you eliminated, but we do look forward to hopefully seeing you again in future seasons, because we do get a lot of the same bots and bot authors coming through here. So nice to see them season after season. All right, what do we got coming up next?
we have a segment, Endersword. Let's watch a segment. This is from our PostBots show. It is the best show on YouTube, right?
Yeah,
I'd say so.
by far.
Yeah. By far, easily. So if you like extra ProBots content and you like supporting ESChamp, check out our Crown Club membership. You get access to PostBots, which we will be filming tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll have Ketrock and who was it?
And Jency.
Ketrock and Jency will be joining us tomorrow. But this is from last week. We're going to look at a little interview from, I believe it was or did we look at the Rascal one? Fidelina. Man, it's a good thing Drek is here to keep things on the rail because I cannot do it. Let's go. Let's check it out. PostBots. Join it. Watch it. All that good stuff.
All right. So yeah, this is the last series with Dominion Dog in it. This one was.
I was kind of.
I think pretty much a stomp, to be honest. Blinkerbot never really got to blink or anything like that. And the second game was the one he went DTs, but then he only made one of them. But your army, I think, kind of saw that there was DT potential, backed up, regrouped at home. And actually, this is the moment.
Yeah, right here. Really safe play. I really like that. It's like one DT. I'm getting the hell out till we have a Raven. I think that's very smart.
Yeah, is that kind of the calculation it was making, or?
Yes, as soon as I detect a Dark Templar, and especially if I don't have any scans, it's definitely full defense mode. I don't go 1 inch towards the enemy base.
So it takes it takes the scans into account as well, because we did see the one scan and you killed it off, but then you're still like, I'm getting the heck out of here because
I'm not afraid to waste energy on a scan if I see a Dark Templar. Let's put it that way. But if I see one Dark Templar, I know there are probably coming more.
Yeah.
So there is.
It's funny because
but weirdly there was not. There should have been. He
safe assumption.
But in this case, I was also lucky to actually cause some damage and could safely go back home and come back with a bigger army. It's difficult for me sometimes when I meet a Dark Templar in the middle of the map or something like that, or if there is a base trade scenario when they arrive with Dark Templars in my base at the same time as I do my push, because then the decision making becomes really complex really fast. And but in this case, I can always go back home and regroup.
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah, no reason to take any unnecessary risks.
Definitely.
I don't know if you noticed, but I also built a missile turret in my base. The first thing I did.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely safe.
Oh, I didn't see
Otherwise,
those. Gotta be those Dark Templars can ruin your day. So. All right. Once again, that is our PostBots segment. We will be recording a new episode for our Crown Club members tomorrow. And again, you can come in the Discord and watch it live and come hang out with us and listen in and type in the chat if you have questions. Maybe we'll take a look at those. But yeah, I think we're still pushing for number 25 for our Crown Club. So if you want to be our 25th Crown Club member, again, think about supporting ESChamp. Helps out a lot. All right, fun stuff. Endersword, are you ready for our last best of 3 of the night?
Yes.
Are you ready to look at some stats for our bots?
Let's do that.
Let's do that. We got FourGateBot looking a little high on that crash rate percentage, but again, this is all from the ladder and stuff. And obviously, once these bots kind of make it to ProBots, they're not experimenting as much, so you're going to have a much lower crash rate.
Yeah, this is a new one for sure. I wouldn't be shocked if a lot of the original crashes came from like the acceleration thing. It's one of the few bots to do that.
We'll look at that in game. That's fun.
The win rate, very memey. I like it. We'll see what this is. It really comes down to the ramp for FourGateBot.
Yeah. Well, and FourGateBot is going up against AdditionalPylons, so there is not as much of a chance of a full wall screwing up the pathing. There is a chance, but it's not as high. Obviously, AdditionalPylons could do a 1 base Stargate wall. We have seen which bot did that. It was who was doing that in week 1? I mean, was it AdditionalPylons? No, it wasn't AdditionalPylons, was it? I'm drawing a blank right now. Somebody did it where they wall off completely and then do like some Stargate play, right? Or am I making this up completely?
This season, I know what we've seen.
Might have been last season.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I don't know. Again, horrible memory. Don't worry about it. I'm sure somebody remembers. FourGate is not a Java bot. All these bots. Oh wait, is FourGate a Java bot?
FourGate, I thought.
My notes say Python. So
Python bot.
yeah, my notes all say tonight. All the Python bots are duking it out. All right, so we're getting our last best of 3 loaded up. Make sure you vote in the chat. I do believe the poll is open. Type in !vote and then the bot's name. Who do you think's going to win? FourGateBot or Protoss, or will it be AdditionalPylons, our other Protoss? A lot of mirror matchups tonight. So we're going to have another Protoss eliminated, which there's not a lot of them in the tournament. So
I'm going with FourGateBot on this one.
which one? You're going for FourGate? Yeah, I think FourGate just due to the fact that it's not a Terran and most likely won't get walled out. This crisp FourGate is going to hit so hard. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Again, our last best of 3 of the night here in our lower bracket, day 3 of 7 here on ProBots. Let's see who our last bot to get eliminated will be. Thanks for tuning in. Let's dive into it.
That'd be more like
Scarlet.
and everyone knows for those games you have to click to your scroll wheel.
Mind me's additional pylons.
All right, Catalyst. Have we been here tonight? I don't think. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And that's not just APM. That's EPM.
Yes, these are effective.
Is it really that? Oh yeah, because the second you stop clicking, you start decelerating, right?
Yeah, I
So
guess
it's
so.
the fact that you're non-stop clicking that it makes it.
Any movement counts as EPM,
Yeah.
and this would be.
So as you can see here, in case you are not familiar with the way this bot works, there is some fancy probe micro going on here, where the probes are very fast. Normally, and we'll take a look at additional pylon side of things in just a moment, the workers will decelerate. And I hear an echo of myself, and it's driving me crazy. Where is it coming from? Is it you, Endersword?
I haven't changed anything.
I don't know. Yeah, it just came out of nowhere all of a sudden, and now it's confusing my brain. I'm going to turn down that's fine. That'll work. Okay. So anyway, the probes are not decelerating like normal because they're being microed. Oh, it was Drek. It's production. Don't worry, we'll shave his eyebrows after the event to punish him. Look at those workers zoom. Okay, so yeah, you all get what's going on. So now if we go look at additional pylon side of thing, you'll see they all kind of slow down just very slightly. It's not very noticeable, but they do ever so slightly decelerate. And you can see if we look at the income graph, we pulled it up last week and it was a nice little show, how much more you're getting there. So it's not a lot, but for a 4-gate timing, it's huge. Almost 100, more than 100 gas at times, and then over 200 minerals come down as well. Is there a forward pylon? Yes, there it goes. It's just now going down, I believe, on the other side of things. So this 4-gate is about to kick off, and additional pylons is getting a second base, Endersword. How do you think that's going to work out for him?
Not as well as not having one. So it definitely makes that vulnerable. Can be canceled for a little bit still, but yeah, definitely not ideal to have a expansion when your opponent doesn't and is being aggressive. Here comes the Adept Force.
I don't remember seeing Adepts in 2 weeks ago. Did FourGateBot build the Adepts last time?
I'm not sure,
I thought
actually.
it was just all stalkers, pretty much.
I think it may be, opponent specific in terms of race.
Oh, maybe.
You're obviously going to make something, but I think it was Zealots before.
Yeah, man. Maybe I'm just forgetting. Maybe there were Adepts.
Or your cyber core is done. But yeah, this is a lot better. Like getting the Adepts in here provides 2 really good things. One, it's annoying and draws your opponent away from their gate, from their ramp. But also, if these are up here, then you have high ground vision if you need it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you dance them right in front of where Zealots are, then they die.
Yeah.
But still a good distraction while this whole thing gets going. Just could have been a little bit better.
Oh yeah, this is scary, man. 6 stalkers already. It's only a 3.5 minute mark, and again, additional pylons on 2 bases. That second base will buy a little time, I guess, for the army, unless the army just decides to go straight up into the main, which I think that's what it's mostly programmed to do. It just kind of tries to YOLO up into the main and get on production, and that's really what a 4-gate is supposed to do. You're just really get in there and overwhelm your opponent. So
okay, well, you get the engagement here, taking out the pylon in the front, the zealots, which are going to chase down the ramp. This is the ideal situation for 4-GateBot, which is that someone doesn't sit at top. And basically this becomes kind of easy.
Yeah. And yeah, it's just slowly making its way up there. So far, the natural's decimated, but it's 28 army supply to 2. And again, this is a full gate in full swing. So there will just be more and more units come after this. So 4-gate's going to take an easy game number 1 here with just its super crisp timing. So you really do almost have to kind of glitch it out to stand a good chance, or be Terran and have tanks is the other alternative.
Yeah, basically, if you're not defending in a really defensible top of the ramp sort of position, you're probably going to get overwhelmed here. The control of the stalkers pretty good, as well as they engaged. Less so as they're kind of derping around right now, but makes sense. And I think additional pylons a little bit indecisive on which direction it was going with the Robo and the Stargate, but only. Just very bare bones on the main army. The
Jesus.
At this point, all movements. I was going to point out there, but the fight had started. Is additional pylons on 2 bases with the income tab open was almost identical to 4-GateBot on the 1 base. So about 7 additional and 2 bases running, and and we're still getting faster. Or just about the same mineral production.
That is a scary 4-gate to hold. I really would like to see it up against a Zerg, because I don't think we've seen it against a Zerg yet. So we've seen it against Terran, and it can struggle. We've seen it against Protoss now, and it just, unless you're also doing a hyper-aggressive defense, you're just not going to hold it. But there are no more Zergs in our tournament, Endersword. They're all gone.
Happens. What are you going to do?
Sorry, Zerg.
They used to be good.
They used to be.
At one point, I think. It's
sometime in HOTS.
Is Spiny not in the tournament? Spiny's in the tournament.
Is Spiny still in the upper bracket?
I think so.
Oh, wait. Oh yeah, okay, I'm wrong. I'm full of it. Spiny is still in the tournament, so ignore me. There is one more Zerg. The rest is Terran and Protoss, though. God, there's just so much Terran and Protoss this time around. Really getting the representation there.
Yeah, for a while we hadn't seen many Terrans at all, and they've kind of made a good comeback. I think as people have really gotten better and better at the micro, you're seeing Terran get stronger and stronger. For pretty much since the beginning of the game, I've always kind of said, and I think people have just generally agreed, Terran has the highest skill cap in terms of the most micro potential. You've got the most small units that have ranged attacks. That means that you have, like, just the better the micro, the better you're going to be. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think you're seeing bots now starting to be able to exploit that control and even do things that you could never do really in real time as a human player. So, like, the way that we've seen, say, Ketrock's Vikings move with, like, the stutter step forward, where it looks as if they're not even stopping.
Yeah.
They're kind of shooting as if they're phoenixes, essentially. That sort of thing you could never really do in real time as a person, but you can do it as a bot. And just all the individual control is interesting.
Well, I believe we're ready with game number 2 here. We're going to see if additional pylons can hang on. It's on its last life here and needs to try to survive just this devastating 4-gate attack. So let's go ahead and dive into it right now. What could be our last game of the night here on ProBots.
They're trying to be
Scarlet.
start off with a good product, make it worse. Fine.
My me's additional pylons.
And your sword will be heard.
Yes.
I know it doesn't. When Drek talks to you, you're gonna respond. It's like so. It's his fault, technically.
Yeah.
I blame Drek. Yeah. Nope. All right, here we are. What could be our last game of the night on Death Aura. What a good map to potentially finish it off. Again, unless additional pylons can somehow. Oh, Ender Sword. Oh.
No.
Do you see what additional pylons is doing?
Kinda.
Kinda. You see that?
To see something, and I think
Something different.
Yeah, he's escaping. Well, now I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I know what it looked like he was doing, but I don't think he's doing what he was.
Maybe it's just for defense. I thought he was.
I guess he just didn't.
This probe is even moving around in the bait, like, ooh, I'm skirting the edges. I'm gonna put a pylon. Don't test me. I'll do it.
Cannon
Do
rush.
it.
But he's actually made the forge, so I don't know what he's doing. This would be, I don't know what this is.
Seriously, I think the cannon would just kill.
Does it?
Potentially. I don't know if Scarlet has a thing programmed in to deal with it.
Did it think it made one? Like, that's just very bizarre.
Now he's just bullying probes, and
Yeah.
Zealot comes out and he runs away like a little coward. All right. So no cannon rush, additional pylons. Instead, we'll get the forge, then a gateway, and then a nexus.
He hasn't even gotten a cyber core. He definitely thinks he's cannon rushing or something. Something's gone wrong here.
Apparently, additional pylons doesn't cheese. Okay, so it's doing a 2-base defense. Well, it sure tricked me because that probe sure looked like it wanted to cannon rush to me.
Or does he not have a? He doesn't have.
Oh man, this is just way too greedy. This is just going to be the death of additional pylons. +1 attack is coming down. Finally, a cannon will be placed, and maybe that'll buy a little bit of time, but I do believe that this 4-gate is about to hit again in full force. 3 stalkers already warping in, 2 adepts coming across. The cannons have just now started.
Yeah, there's nothing to even take out the adepts. Like, they're gonna have to. I don't know what he's doing here, though.
Oh, he's chasing the probe. That's interesting.
Yeah, okay.
Well, does shade into but the cannons aren't done, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, they really want to avoid the adepts. It's funny because they could just get some shots off and probably kill those zealots. But here we go. They're going to go up into the main. By the looks of it, we'll get the shade off, and now probes are going to start to die. And yep, that should unless the stalkers just utterly throw themselves against the cannons and die, there shouldn't be any way that 4-gate bot loses this, right?
Yeah. Even
Zealots are doing an okay job of keeping those adepts busy, at least.
Yeah, I mean, it's reasonable.
Yeah,
It's not busy taking everything out, but
Yeah.
still no. It's only zealots. There's no cyber core. There's no way out of this, no matter what happens.
Well, looks like he actually, killed one of the adepts. The adepts got pinned against the wall a little bit here, so the zealots trying to keep up. Looks like the stalkers, I guess they're just held at bay by the cannons for now, but finally there is enough, and they will start to engage the cannons, and 3 will not be enough. And with that, 4-GateBot will move on to the next round, and our scrap pile will now be full because additional pylons will be joining it.
Indeed. Yeah. It needed additional building placement or something.
You could say it needed additional pylons. Oh, no, it just needed army, really. Or something.
Yeah, just change it to additional. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, it definitely. I think also there's some bots that may have triggered a response against, like having the forge out and having the probe going around. But I don't think 4-GateBot responds to anything. I think it's doing a 4-gate, and that's the end.
That is it. So that would be potentially one of 4-GateBot's biggest weaknesses is just do something cheesy, proxy a barracks in the main or a cannon rush or something. And if there's just no response. But as it is, the 4-gate will work and will work very well, and moves 4-GateBot on to the next round. So we have got our next 4 bots. We've got our 4 eliminations. Let's go ahead and take a look at our bracket if the production would be so kind before we wrap things up here. Great show tonight. Great games.
Yeah,
Some
very
really fun
good. Some
stuff.
of these were one-sided.
A little
we all
one-sided, but
I think the closest best of 3 possibly that we ever had. Possible exceptions of BenBot versus everyone it's ever played.
yeah. Yeah, no, that definitely was a really good TBT ANIbot versus Spudde. But here we go. So this will be next week. We'll be diving back into our upper bracket. Oh, this is the lower bracket this time. So this will be a couple weeks. But next week we will decide who gets knocked down into this lower bracket to face these 4 opponents.
Yeah, we got Blinkerbot, TheHarvester, Spudde, FourGateBot put in the top position. It was the only one in the top that won, I assume is why there's asymmetry.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, is right.
Just their positioning, yeah.
And here we're going to have for next week, Ketrock versus Strelok will be a good one.
Oh, yeah.
NC versus Micro Machine is going to be a total barn burner. We'll be talking about NC and Ketrock tomorrow during post bots. So curious what they're going to have to say about that. I predict that Ketrock and Gency will both say humble things. I think that they're going to win.
Yeah.
Spiny versus Tier will be pretty good. The first,
I think that's going to be a cheese fest. That's going to be interesting.
That has potential to be kind of whatever.
Yeah, just a wonky game.
Yeah, kind of stuff. And then BenBot versus Dominion. That one's going to be really good.
Yeah.
I think that Fidelina, the maker of Dominion Dog, will come in with a plan of some kind to deal with that. But actually, in our last interview, and I don't know which clip we played, but I think he was saying that his response to BenBot was to not defend against the BCs coming in, but instead try and rush or hit it early. So that one's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, he just answered the question for me. I was just going to answer, yeah, these bots will be updated for next week. So this is our first round of updates that will be implemented into the season. So yeah, I guess the update battle between GencyBot and Micro Machine is just absolute fire behind the scenes from what I've been seeing. So I am super stoked for that. We might have our longest broadcast next week. We have 3 TVT matches that are just gonna be absolute bangers.
It will be good. That one we should stream them updating the bots with hidden cameras.
Yeah, right.
Well, you ever see in a bad TV show like CSI with 2 hackers are facing each other and they're
it's like a hacker battle,
and they're like, oh, I'm gonna block him with my firewall. That's what I expect these guys are doing.
All right. Well, it should be it. That should be very exciting. That will wrap it up here tonight. Thank you everybody so much for tuning in. Again, if you like extra content, check out our Crown Club membership. We will be doing our post-bot show tomorrow. You can come watch live and hang out in the Discord. So check out our forum as well to stay up to date with everything that is going on here at ESChamp and to start conversations there as well. It's a great little place. What else we got? Oh, this was a doozy of a day.
Somebody's hiring someone for a
thing.
Yeah,
we're hiring somebody. If you want to help ESChamp, we are looking for a tournament director. So very basic tasks, just updating brackets, helping kind of organize some things. So if you've got some passion and want to help out,
the tournament,
directing it, you're basically going to take Drek's job. No, I'm just kidding.
The tournament is currently spinning out of control. We need you to direct it.
Yes.
It has a lot of momentum, no vector at all. We need you to direct the tournament
before we crash into the sun or something.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So yeah, anyway, if you're interested, send a message to Drek or just hop on the Discord. You can find him there. That should be it. Yeah. Join us again tomorrow. Gency and Ketrock will be hanging out with us on Postbots. Thank you all for joining us. If you don't see us tomorrow, we'll see you next week. Same time, same place here on ESChamp, 7:30 p.m. Eastern for day number 4. We'll be diving back into that upper bracket. It's going to be a hell of a time. We'll see you there, Endersword. It's going to be good. All right. Thank you, Drexama, as well in the background. Thank you, Laddie and Peter, keeping the show running. Thank you, bot authors, for giving us some awesome games tonight. Big shout out to all the bots that got eliminated. Unfortunately, your run ends here, but we look forward to seeing you in future seasons. So hopefully that'll happen. And with that, we are going to sign off, and we'll see you all next week. Have a great night.